So hello and welcome to the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club to qualifier race number 3 in November, or as it's known in the commentary box, the day after the World Championships.
Do you feel as tired as I do? And all I did was talk.
No, definitely not. And I'm not sure it's not as tight as some of our riders. And the team behind the scenes, an amazing job. If you haven't watched it, make sure you have a watch to the of the show. You can get it on the MyWhoosh YouTube channel. Make sure you go have a look back at all of the action from the world's fantastic racing, fantastic action there. Some of the riders will be with us. Some of the riders will be nursing
sleeping.
I hope they're sleeping and nursing some very sore legs because everybody gave it everything. We have today two very different routes for the men's and women's races. The women's race coming first, and the women are in Belgium.
They are indeed. The women are heading to Belgium. 37.7 kilometres of racing, 395 metres of climbing. They come out of that start on that Belgium very, very pan-flat first 5-6K. They go through the Ghent City Sprint at 2.3 kilometres, so expect some early action. They head up the Courtiquer, and that first section does indeed kick to 17%. It is so nasty. But then that main climb ends on the plateau through the Tissenhoven-Malven Sprint before they drop down the other side. Then they face the Valkenburg. The Eichenberg duo, the hill, not classified in the climbing competition, but the Eichenberg climb is. It's then an 8.8 kilometre run to the finish line. And of course, it wouldn't be Belgium if there wasn't a cobbled climb stinging the tail.
Indeed, and because, of course, this is Belgium, some of these are very historic climbs that are used time and time again. In fact, the Valkenburg was used this year in the World Championship cyclocross, in the World Championship gravel championships that were earlier on this year.
Well, we know there's some esports riders who like a little bit of gravel, so they should go well today.
We will soon find out. All of our riders represented by avatars in all of our race categories. Category 6, the first set of riders to head out onto race route. Our teams, well, they're represented once again, and no surprises that continuing their winning run even, it is the FCC, the Fem Cycle Club Cadence crew, who took the team victory last week. And Denise Mannen-Holtman, Sonia Webber, backed up by Melissa Scriven, all coming in through to make up that team last week. And we have the same 4 riders. They really are making this a habit in Category 6 in the team competition, getting ready for our finals. And, of course, to be in the team at the finals, you need 2 qualifying rides on 2 of our qualifying events. But, of course, this is a 4 qualifier month extra bonus for our riders. It's time to go racing. The first riders away on qualifier number 3 here on MyWhoosh in Belgium. The riders setting off from the pens, and already you can see Limbago and Sudibayo off to a quick start. Sudibayo, our sprint winner in Category 6, and our Queen of the Mountains last week was Bridget Bremner.
Oh, yes. Bremner put in a phenomenal performance last week. It was absolutely outstanding to watch. Really, really strong racing right the way through. She took the climbing competition as well as the overall. Damnice took second. Nikki Lloyd back on the top 3 again. She took third. She's got on a plane. She was in Brazil last week. She's got on a plane. She's flown back to the UK, and there she is, back in the race field, loving the international woman of mystery that is Nikki Lloyd.
I'd quite like to have her air miles. I'd probably be able to fly halfway around the world just on those alone.
Sudibayo took the sprint competition as well as 4th place, and Jaskalainen came through in 5th. They were on the Vessel Rock last week. Similar types of climbs, you know, so expect those names to come to the fore.
Similar type of climb, but a different order. It's kind of like all the same notes, but just played in a different order, isn't it? It's just a different tune, potentially, because
Belgium Europop.
It is. If you've ever been to a European cyclocross, it's like being stuck into a Europop time warp from the
1980s
80s or 90s.
It's brilliant.
Says somebody who was clearly into Europop in the 80s and 90s. Not giving away Emma's
giving away my age there.
Yes, maybe just a little. Now, in with Jacqueline Almeida. Good to be in with Jacqueline once again. One of our real regulars here, the Brazilian rider with the chip in the background. No bikes on the work stand again. I'm getting disappointed. There is a lack of bikes on the work stand.
That would mean they're all in working order. Never be disappointed when the bikes are in working order.
I actually use the work stand as my bike stand as well. Not because it needs regular maintenance, but I do like to just make sure it's okay before I go out. It's worth checking.
Well, at the moment, Jacqueline Almeida, part and parcel of the leading group in the Category 1 race. They're at the 1.1 kilometre marker. Just trying to do a little check there because we've lost one or two riders off the back of the group coming out of the start pen, but Sudibayo, Bele, Arrayas, Lloyd, Jones, Shuring, Scriven, all in the group at the moment. And the pack is rolling nicely at the moment, around 35 kilometres an hour. Now, being in the draft on this flat section, absolutely key because you want to save your energy for those super steep climbs that are coming up. This pack rolling nicely. Nikki Lloyd were in with her. She's currently sitting at around zone 2, so nice, steady pace. Oh, change of wall colour in the pain cave for Nikki Lloyd.
Nikki, is this why you went away? Does Nikki just go away because she has the interior decorators in to change the surrounding, the environment that she is in there? 2 fans on the go at the moment, plus the 2 on the bike as well. So Lloyd at the moment. Nikki looking good. It's good to see Nikki. I've been really impressed by Nikki's. I know we have a laugh about how she visits everybody, and it's because we're really in awe of it, really. We're slightly jealous as well. The fact that she goes around the world visiting friends is great.
It's brilliant, and I think it's absolutely amazing. And for me, it's an absolute beautiful story about what cycling can do and the reach around the world that it has. And it creates not just memories and relationships, it creates friends, and it just creates amazing lives. Melissa Scriven, she's on our screen at the moment. She's got a little bit of, well, she can't hear us or she's not been feeling very well, which is never good. But the new artwork, I did look it up, Melissa. Absolutely lovely picture, really nice. And he's going in for the sprint right now.
So tall men with bikes on the wall, fast women racing for the sprint. Underneath the banner in the Ghent City Sprint, Jessica Hamilton, the rider who is absolutely dominating as usual. It's really back to business for Hamilton on those sprints. She really is one of our real, true sprint maestros.
Dominant. Well, she's a dominant sprinter.
She figures right up there in the overall Sprint Winners Hall of Fame that you can get on MyWhooshinfo.com. Let's dive in with our next set of riders to go away because they're going to be our riders in Category 5. The first step up from Category 6. And in Category 5, you can see the teams already lining up. The Air Nova squad in here, along with the Femme Cycle Club 5. But Cycling District 5 were the team who took victory last week. Rosa Hagelin, along with Helia Santos and Emma Pinto, taking the team victory in Category 5. In terms of our Queen of the Mountains winner, that was Angela, and our sprint winner was Natalia Idzik. It's time to go racing. We're up and away in Belgium. Category 5, our second race start of the day, up and out of the pens.
Well, they are indeed. And Martinez took the win last week from Anderland, Mongeli, Hagland and Alzat. Idzik took the sprint competition, and the race field, 34 riders on the start sheets today. Big field of Category 5 riders. In fact, 200 women on the start sheets today. We are really hanging around that magic number of 200. It's been absolutely amazing. Do you know what? I'm just going to do a little bit of a celebration. We will do this at the end of the year as well. But just a reminder, back in Qualifier 1 in January, 141 women on the start sheets. 200 today.
200.
The growth of the Sunday race, I'll tell you the same in the men's. I'll give you the growth in the men's as well. But just something to celebrate in terms of what's happened in 2025 on the Sunday Race Cup. And Brooke Samuel has been part of that, which is absolutely brilliant.
The riders in here, the regularity of the riders like Brooke Samuel is fantastic to see. She's here week in, week out. That consistency, that almost ever present. We almost need an award for the riders who are always with us week in, week out. And Brooke Samuel doing the business week in, week out.
Well, Samuel in the pack at the moment. Warren, Pinto, Marshall, all in there. It's a rolling pack again, rolling around 36 kilometres an hour on the flatlands. Everybody looking at each other before they head towards that first sprint. Now, just 2 sprints today in that sprint competition. The first one coming at 2.3 kilometres, the second at 12.7. after the quarter Kia. Whoever wins the overall Sprinters green jersey today is also going to have to be a strong climber, because they're going to have to get over the quarter Kia with the leading bunch in all of our categories. So expect potentially a non-sprinter to win it.
A non-sprinter to win it. Okay, that's an interesting thought. In with Palmer Mongelli. Palmer Mongelli, one of our just pointing to her hair here, one of our really regular riders on the Sunday race. A very different hairstyle. As somebody who is exceptionally follically challenged, as often is the case with people of my age, that is an interesting hairstyle. Emma, have you ever done that for racing? You have far more hair than me.
Have I ever done that for racing? No, but I have indeed worn that hairstyle before.
Have you really?
Of course I have. It's a little bit of a Princess Leia look, and sometimes you can indeed do the full coils as well. You've got to tune and focus and just go with the force.
The force needs to be with you when you're racing. The force needs to be strong.
And
with this one.
And also, you know, if you're wearing a headset, it's absolutely great. You know, so you want to listen to some pumping music, you want to talk to your colleagues. It's a good hairstyle to use.
I see. When my hair was that long, I never ever put it up into anything. I didn't have the skill, or the knowledge, or anything.
You should learn. Well, Hannah Hermansen on the front of the group at the moment. Claudia Gentili is there. Carolina Alza in the mix as well. And now the push is coming for the very first sprint of the day. And it's 300 metres down the road. But at the moment, it's Hermansen who is driving this forward. Hannah Hermansen, the rider from Sweden. She witnessed her sister-in-law take to the stage yesterday in those World Championships. She's now doing the business as Hermansen drives forward. But well, there's competition from behind because, look at that. Yildirim wanting to pick up the points as well.
So Yildirim, the rider, challenging Hannah Hermansen. Hannah Hermansen on some phenomenal sprint form. She, week in, week out, we're starting to see her really show that she's got that snap and that very fast kick, racing in Category 5, Category 6 and Category 5 up the road. Category 4 are going to be our next set of riders who are going to take to a race start. And the riders racing in teams as well as in the individual competition. The FEM Cycle Collab are a winning team last week out with Anna Frias, Lam Kong and Catherine Tonkinson going to be our riders who were celebrating that win. We'll see whether they can do it again today. The team's getting ready for those finals. Category 4 about to leave our start pens, and already 3 sets of riders about to leave or leaving race start here today on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. So fantastic to see all these riders making their way down onto race start time and time again. Category 4 is a super competitive category, and we've got some real regular riders in here. Emma, who's going to be the riders that we're going to be up there? I suspect we're going to see some really strong rides from a number of the returning riders, people like Lam Kong, Montoya as well. De Grazia was riding strongly as well. So the riders at the moment just making their way out onto a race route. At the moment here in Category 4, you can just see we're in with Shanna Martinuski, making her way off from race start. As we dive in with Shanna Martinuski, one of our newer riders. Martinuski definitely going to be somebody that we need to watch as we come through the sprints and on to those climbs. Last week, it was Suzanne Stemmen from Marion Wittler, Camilla Pamplona, along with Laura Takanen, Anna Frias rounding out the top 5 overall, with Salgado, Kong, De Grazia and Liu, followed by Al Ray rounding out the top 10. Can Martinuska break into the top 10? We'll have to find out. We're on this flat run, heading across in towards that first sprint that comes in Ghent City, a right-hand sweeping bend, left-hand turn, and then we're going to start lining up. We've got to make our way out from the forest at the moment, and this pace at the moment, 37 kilometers an hour, as these riders make their way through the forest. 36 at the moment. You can see most of these riders in a reasonably comfortable place. We're just at the moment in with Gina De Grazia, and De Grazia currently hovering around zone 2 or 3. Zone 6 is when you're absolutely eyeballs out. Zone 1 It's not quite having a coffee, but it's pretty much having a chat as you're riding along. You should be pretty comfortable. But you can see the heart rate, the pace having to respond to that group as it moves through. And as more riders move to the front, that pace will pick up. Everybody will start to get engaged as we run in towards the sprint line. And you can see it on the radar view on the top right hand side of your screen. Radar view gives us our riders at the moment. It looks like one blob. That's because it's one big bunch, but each of those discs at the moment piled on top of each other, pretty much making almost like a Jenga stack of discs, because as these riders make their way along, they're all able to hold with the group. As the group fractures, that will become more like dot to dot, so it'll be a series of discs as the pace picks up. And those riders who can't stay with the pace will be distanced further back, and those discs will spread out. And at the top, you can just make out as we go into town, you can just see those buildings, the archway in green. If you've got a big enough monitor screen and you're watching this on, that's the archway that is our sprint. And remember, that sprint coming at 2.3 kilometers into the race route, the Ghent City Sprint, the first of our checkpoints, all of our checkpoints with points to score for the overall sprint competition or the climb competition. The climb competition today made up of 3 climbs, the sprint competition of 2 sprints, the finish line, all of these with prizes. And of course, there is a prize for the overall sprint competition and for the overall climb competition as well. The sprint unfolding, time for our riders to really wind this up. At the moment, you can see Vodjakova just chasing Schultz. Schultz has gone down the right-hand gutter at the moment on the front here. Schultz opening this up, and at the moment are looking like she's going to just about be able to hold on. Roa is coming very strongly, so is Catherine Montoya. Roa goes on to the wheels of Schultz, but Schultz is going to take that. I think as she went through, just had the power to just hold off Roa. So it'll be Schultz with the 5 points, who goes onwards from here into our next sprint at the Tissenhoven-Molen sprint, our next sprint checkpoint. It's up on the plateau. It's at 12.7 kilometers. So category 6, category 5, and category 4 well and truly into the race as we drop in with category 3. Our category 3 race starters, our next race field to head out onto the roads of Belgium. And category 3, last week, a real ding-dong fight between the Cycling District 3 squad of Lopez, Silva and Manfron, but it was the Riot 3 squad who took away the victory in that team competition last week. Jem Riel, Brittany Litton and Helen McKay doing the business. Their team time at 15 minutes 27 seconds. The team time made up of the 3 fastest riders from each team, making the way around the course, those 3 team times added together. Category 3, ready to take to race start, ready to go race on the roads of Belgium. It's time for our riders to show us what they've got in the tank. A big race field here, 41 riders in category 3. So one of our biggest, if not the biggest, race field in this race field of 200 riders. As they go out, we're in with Kim Benilla, already up to 34 now, 35 kilometers an hour, 38 in the first 100 meters of this race route. We're soon going to hit that 40k an hour mark at 25 miles an hour as we move out and away from the pens. 200 meters in at the moment, and at the moment category 2, sorry, category 3 up and running. Category 2 will be our next riders who are out and away. And category 2, well, category 2 are going to be away in 10 minutes time. All of our categories separated by a 5-minute gap between each one until we get to the category 3, category 2, and that is when we get the 10-minute gap. Now in with Michelle Pavia at the moment, just making sure well hydrated, taking the chance, just kicked away from that race start. One of our real strong riders when it comes to category 3 and racing very, very strong. We're going to see how she goes in this race. Last week, we saw lots of great sprints unfold. It's a bit harder today, I think, with our race route here. Last week, in terms of the sprint winner, it was De Pavia who took that sprint competition from Embring, from Horner, Hyde and Briggs. But in terms of the overall, it was Briggs who took the overall from Vasquez and El Tamarino. They were your top 3, with Eva Essler in 4th, Kim Benilla in 5th, Jem Riel in 6th, Julia Montgomery in 7th, and Embring in 8th. Lorena Beltram in 9th, and Flavia Lopez rounding out the top 10. In terms of the Queen of the Mountains, the climbs competition, it is Briggs from Montgomery. So in with Michelle de Pavia on her way in towards this sprint. The sprint now starting to wind up. McKay against de Pavia. You can see de Pavia descending at Davidson and Montgomery here in category 3, heading in towards the race. Sprint number 1 coming. De Pavia taking the sprints last time out. Can she do it again at the moment? She's right up against Brittany Litton. Litton at the front, but she's overhauled by Hyde, and now de Pavia's timing comes to the fore. De Pavia's going to come through to take the 5 points. De Pavia leads through from Hyde, from McKay, Litton and Desenia. They're the riders who go through in the lead of category 3. And Michelle de Pavia with a phenomenal kick, great timing, and yet again proving she has that sprint speed.
Well, de Pavia won the sprint last week as well, and she really has just shown us she's got such a turn of speed, and she can really show the rest of the pack her heels. De Pavia really doing a sterling job and putting on that green skin suit as her reward. Helen McKay doing a great job as well. So is Pamplona Altamirano. The pack is long, and look at the stretch on the category 3 pack. There's one of the things in terms of the sprints, even if you are not contending them, you still got to pick the pace and the power up to zone 5, zone 6 to stay with the leading group.
And that acceleration, that pickup of speed, it can't be underestimated, can it? Because whilst you can still stay in the draft, it's very easy to get distance because you don't know exactly when it's going to come. You don't know when you need to kick. And when you're riding on there, that's when it gets really, really difficult, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does indeed. But you do have to manage it, and you do have to. It has been one of those things in your arsenal. You have to know, at the 2.3 kilometre marker, the first sprint is there. There's going to be a surge in pace. There's going to be a surge in power. And you've got to be ready to pick up the pace and go with the pack. Otherwise, you go off the back. Amy Sudabayo has gone off the front. She's on our screens at the moment looking cool, calm, and collected. Nice job at the 9.7 kilometre marker. She is literally about to come up to, or she'll go around the corner and then she'll see the polka dot banner. But she's put in a great climb here. 24 seconds, the gap to Damnice Lloyd Almeida, Hadjuk Jaskalainen. So a group of 5 riders behind. But Amy Sudabayo doing an absolutely phenomenal job going underneath that polka dot banner. What a great day's climbing so far for Sudabayo.
Certainly, Amy Sudabayo, I think, really has improved. We've seen her journey, really, haven't we? From when she first came onto the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club to where she is now. She really, really has excelled. Behind Anta Denise coming through, taking away that 2nd place. And this is a brutal start in category 6. We do see the race break up most weeks, but this really has exploded.
Well, it has, and Sudabayo's now dropped back, and I think what we're going to see now is that group of 5 become a group of 6. I think they will come on to Sudabayo's wheel. At this point in the race, I think, Sudabayo would do well to sit in the group and take some recovery. She's got 3 more climbs to go. They're shorter, they're sharper, but they're still long enough to put in a gap, and she's climbing so strongly. I would, if I was her, be leaving my main attack until I hit that Eichenberg duo.
Ooh.
Did I just give away my race game?
You did. If anybody ever races Emma on this course in Belgium, you now know Emma's potential race tactics.
It won't be happening unless someone replaces me in the commentary box.
Never. That's not happening. We're not having that. Definitely not. We will see our riders when they get to that attack point that Emma has just given as her key attack point on the route, as to whether or not that is the point where they go. It is an early kick. We're in now with category 5. Remember, category 6 heading off first, and category 5 then category 4 and 3. And they're just coming in towards this summit point. You can still see there's a long string of category 6 riders in front. And the damage done is huge. And they're coming up on one of our riders now. They're going to see Alicia Fielder, then Sylvia Shoring. But at the moment, at the front of category 5, Lazaret, Aberhek, Becker, along with Libano, Giuliano, Bago, a real who's who of category 5.
Yeah, it is indeed. And they're pushing on that second part of the climb. And ironically, I'm going to say it's the least steep part of the climb, as it is around 10%. I'll tell you something, these gradients feel so steep. Let me just say, these gradients are steep, and boy, do they feel steep when you are riding them. Often, I know I've jokingly said when it gets to around 5-6%, it feels like it's almost flat. And it does, because when that gradient goes over 10%, oh my goodness, what a climb and what a group of riders here in category 5 as they continue to push towards that polka dot banner. It is at the top. They've got one long drag and then that left-hand corner, and then they will see it. Another rider who's also a very strong climber, Rebecca Johnson, in category 4 on our screen.
And category 4 rider Rebecca Johnson, you can see out of the saddle here, really working hard, making sure that she gets that power down over that first steep section before that drop down onto section 2 of the first of our climb. And that's where our riders are at the moment. We're just in with Palmer Mongelli on this climb. You can just see the avatar just tucked down, just working its way up towards the front of this group. And at the moment, this leading group of riders, this looks relatively calm to me, because whilst they're all working hard, and you can see Palmer at the moment really focused in person on the left of your screen, it's not broken in a long string of line. This is a group staying together. This is not an attack.
No, it's not an attack, but very shortly someone will poke their nose out in the wind, and Jackie Giuliano is doing just that, and so is Palmer Mongelli. She's just got out of the saddle and kicked. She's kicking for that polka dot banner, which is just around the corner. She's kicking for that jersey, but she's got, Natalia Anderlund as well comes through, but Jackie Giuliano just pips it. It's first across the line, and first wheel across the line was Giuliano's today.
That was super, super close. What was the time gap there?
Well, the time gap, about 0.2 of a second. So Giuliano from Anderland, Mongelli, Guiney, and Ereviek come through for the top 5. But I tell you something, 10 riders, all still in contention in category 5.
So a big bunch in category 5 in comparison to that category 6 race field going through. Our next riders to lead the start of category 2 in those green jerseys, the Fem Cycle Collab 2 squad, the team that took the race victory last week with Stasia Susnik, Rianne Denton and Nellie Larson, backed up by Heather Shanks. Can they do the business for the team this week? We will have to find out at the end of today's race route. 37.7 kilometers in distance with 395 meters of climbing. Category 2, some very familiar names in terms of the sprint and the climb winners, and it's kind of almost a bit old school with the riders who took those victories, Emma.
Do you think?
Yes.
Why?
Jenny X, Serena Vittori, Bassoni, Penna, all up in the mix in category 2. I kind of think that they were the riders figuring in those competitions, and I thought it was kind of, for me, that they've been around a long time racing on this.
They have.
Relatively.
Well, a couple of things I want to say about category 2. First of all, 40 riders in the category 2 race field. That and category 3 who have got 41. 2 huge race fields today. But Stephanie Briggs and Manuela Vasquez both go up from category 3 into category 2. Lizzie Brooke back in the mix, not seen her for a while. But I agree with you, actually. You know, Jenny Eck, it was great to see her in the top 5 last week. Katarzyna Velner, she was up in there as well. Charlotte Lucas has been getting stronger and stronger. I'm going to make a prediction, a really bold prediction. I'm going to talk about Heather Shanks in a minute, but I reckon Charlotte Lucas will make Cat 1 at some point. She's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Heather Shanks, always gives it absolutely everything and rides so strong.
Yeah, definitely a rider that we know is going to give absolutely everything. We've seen the effort that Shanks put and all of our riders put in, but it's great to see the window into the pain cave, the race numbers in the background behind her there in that pain cave all over the fridge. Mine's got stickers on it, but it's not got race numbers on it, my fridge. But that fridge covered, or could be a cabinet covered in race numbers from other racing. The riders up and away here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. Remember, on the Sunday Race Club, each and every rider verified. So from category 6 to category 1, completely verified. Also, of course, 6 different race categories. Prize money for all race categories, equal prize money in the men's and women's races as well. All the details of the Racing League on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club available on the MyWhoosh website as well.
Yay, Emily Nyquist, we're back in with her in category 2. One of the riders who has come up this year from category 3 into category 2 and has been doing a phenomenal job in this race field and racing really to her strengths. And it has been absolutely fabulous to see her do so. In fact, a number of riders have come up from category 3 into category 2 this year and have been really, well, they've taken the racing by the scruff of the neck. And that's what I think Emily Nyquist has done. She really is a gritty, determined racer.
And she always has the same pain cave. It's always pretty much the same shot. It's pretty much most of the time.
And I'm wondering why, if you had your setup done, you would change it if it worked. Why would you have a different pain cave?
Some riders change their artwork. Some riders change their scenery.
That would really annoy me.
Rebecca Johnson changes where she is in the world. She's place to place, and we know that there are riders out and racing around the globe, and they're not always in the same nation that the flag is out. That's their nation, their home nation, out and racing maybe where they're working, where they're on holiday, visiting friends like Nikki Lloyd as well as changing their own personal pain cave.
At the moment, the push on the front is for the first sprint checkpoint of the day, and Elsa Haag, Charlotte Lucas. Charlotte Lucas is going for it. Oh, she does indeed go over the top of Haag. Anna Russell was really in the mix as well. So was Vellner. Christine Schneider is one of those riders who's been getting stronger as well, the German rider, and interesting to see her right up at the front as well.
Yes, and I have to agree with your comment about about Charlotte Lucas going to category 1. And the potential. I mean, all our riders have that potential, but I think she's definitely on target to potentially get there quite quickly. I think, given her progression so far, we're going to leave our category 2 riders post-sprint recovering and move across to our category 1 race field. The riders down in the pens at the moment. Now, this race field last week, Ablock International took away the team win from Sweat Sensations, the FCC Endorphins, the Breakaways, and Supernova. They were your top 5 teams. Ablock International's team last week was Mary Kate McCarthy, Maria Holcroft, and Kristen Kolczynski. If those names ring a bell because you're watching them yesterday on the World Championships, you'll know just what happened in there. I'm going to make a suggestion now that if you haven't been watching social media, if you didn't watch the racing,
don't listen to category 1 commentary
because it's going to figure a lot of the same riders. And we're in with Kristen Kolczynski at the moment, a member of the Ablock International winning team who raced last night in European time, last night in pretty much the venue as well. It was even later at night. And now back racing once again. It's only a few hours later. I haven't actually worked out how many hours it is. I should do, between the racing yesterday and the racing today. But my goodness gracious, that is some going to get back onto that start line. We're just dropping across in with category 1, who have gone out from the pens like an absolute rocket. A number.
Well, can I just tell you, if I was anybody who wasn't on the World Championship stage last night in category 1, I too would have gone out like a rocket today. And Jennifer Gothlander, we know she's going to be in it for the sprint. And I tell you something, Gothlander loves this course in Belgium.
It's normally me who goes for the mean tactics of making everybody else suffer.
But whoop, 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 Gabby Guerra's got the camera up and running in the hotel room in Abu Dhabi. Congratulations, Gabby, on the silver medal yesterday. That was some race and absolutely brilliant. We loved watching that, and well done for yet another year. And I know Gabby Guerra will give us another full year of all-in heart-based racing as we move through the end of 2025 and into 2026.
I think she's an absolutely phenomenal rider, and I'm so glad she got a medal again this year. It just shows how consistent she is. She races so hard week in, week out on the Sunday race club. Really, really committed rider, and good to see. And we've got another of our medalists, Francesca Tomasi, a rider who we have seen, and it's been an absolute pleasure plotting her journey. You'll see it's a very familiar, very similar pain cave, because Francesca Tomasi also in the hotel room racing the day after. Congratulations to Francesca from myself and from Emma. I mean, Emma,
I'm sorry, but Francesca, that final lap on that stage 3,
yes.
The bronze medal went to Tomasi. There was 1 point in it. Camilla Ahlberg is in the race today as well, and what a race between Ahlberg and Tomasi yesterday. It absolutely went to the wire. Ahlberg had the bronze medal. Tomasi had the bronze medal. It literally went to, and a phenomenal move by Tomasi. She put everything on the line to take that bronze medal. Jennifer Gothlander wasn't on the stage last night, and she is going good guns today. Come on, Jennifer, because I think, well, the Swedish women, there were 5 Swedish women in that final last night. Now another Swedish woman is going for the Sunday Race Club win.
She's gone for a long one. Great tactics. Go hard, go early. I mean, we saw that explosion out from the pens. The run from Gothlander, I think she really wants to put the pressure onto Moroz, because Moroz has come up into category 1 and has also got that big kick as well. Moroz is in pursuit here. She's trying to close the gap down. This is not a done deal yet between these two riders. Gothlander's having to work for this, and Moroz is keeping her honest, because Moroz is slowly closing down the gap. Moroz currently at 8 watts per kilo. Gothlander at 6 at the moment. She knows that banner is coming. You can see Moroz behind. Gothlander shuts off the throttles a little final kick just to make sure she gets to ahead. Gothlander takes the 5 points. Moroz takes 4. We're going to see who's going to take 3. Yeah, it's Tomasi on the front actually at the moment, but the gap really has opened with that fantastic attack off the front of the race there. So Gothlander and Moroz come through behind, I think, Tomasi leading that group through. You can see the individual winners in the sprint at checkpoint number 1, the Ghent City Sprint, and the times that the riders went through as well. Gothlander's attack ensuring that category 1 were our fastest riders through that first checkpoint. So Gothlander taking the sprint in category 1, Lucas in category 2, De Pavio in category 3, Schultz in category 4, Hermansen in category 5, and Hamilton taking away the sprint win in category 6. It remains to be seen how much effort Gothlander and Moroz put in now. You can see the bunches coming up quite quick, and Kolkowitz, the rider who is leading that charge behind as they come up. The bunch not in a hurry to bring back the 2 escapees who are battling it out for contention in the race. Karolina Kolkowitz, the rider up on our screens at the moment, the Polish rider, just keeping those pedals tapped around at the moment, hiding in that bunch, making sure that she's not expending extra energy at the very front of the race, but at the moment looking really smooth and pretty considered where she is.
Sorry, I just wasn't paying attention there because I was just chatting to the new 2025 world champion.
Oh, no way.
Oh, of course I am. Kate McCarthy's just messaged me.
Okay.
She's her and Mika Soderstrom are going to be missing for the Sunday Race Cup today because they've decided to have a big breakfast together and go sightseeing.
Excellent. Well, congratulations to Kate McCarthy. We will miss you on the Sunday Race Club, but
we'll see those rainbow bands very soon.
We will. Thank you, everybody who was racing yesterday, who got in touch. I know, Emma, I think you had pretty much the entire race field in the men's and women's competition chatting to you before the racing, and obviously afterwards as well. So great to get that feedback and to get that input. Thank you very much, everybody. With that, we're in with Liz Van Heuling, another of our top competitors in category 1, another rider who really started coming back onto form again. A rider who we've seen, who's got a long history on MyWhoosh, and great to see her back in action once again as we see another little push off the front here.
Yeah, we are indeed. And the push at the moment coming from Johanna Tidholm, who put in a storming performance. Seventh in the World Championship, Tidholm, and what a move, what a race. And 3 of the Swedish riders made the top 10 in the world, and they took 5 women into that final yesterday. And boy, did they perform, Tidholm being one of them, Bjarhead right with her, Nicole Mayer, she too, with 5 women from the USA on that stage. I mean, honestly, I'm like the biggest fangirl in the world, and I had to commentate on a race where I only cried twice.
I wasn't going to tell anybody that bit.
Well, I did. Honestly, it was so emotional. It was absolutely brilliant. And absolute credit to everybody who was on that stage in Abu Dhabi and the whole team behind the scenes, because what a race, what a show, and what performances.
It was, and it was so good to see. I mean, we are so invested in these riders and the racing on MyWhoosh. We watch these riders week in, week out, and we see them go onto the stage at the Worlds. To that's the pinnacle of so many riders' careers, is to make a World Championship, and we've seen this progression, riders moving into that, and that's so good to see.
Can I also just say, the performances on the Sunday Race Club, if you follow the Sunday Race Club week in, week out, and I know a lot of you do, there were some really great racing yesterday on the stage at the World Championships, but I think you will have known who was progressing, who was on form, and who was on fire from watching the Sunday Race Club.
I think even though it's a different format, I have to agree with you. Even though it's a very different format of the World Championships, it's a points-based race, it's 3 stages. I think the Sunday race really was it really indicated who we were going to see. I know you picked out Camilla Ahlberg particularly.
But she's so punchy.
As a rider who was going to figure based on her performances in the women. She did exactly the same in the men's with Mikhail Kaminsky. You tipped him as being a rider to watch, and we see that. But we see that across all these race fields, in all of the race categories. We see riders progressing. We get to see the form. We know who's on the up. We know who's having maybe a tough time. We feel for the riders every time.
Well, I tell you something, Tiffany Penner, Rhiannon Denton, Heather Shanks and Emily Nyquist, I can guarantee you they are probably targeting and will do next year the semi-finals, because one of those riders could be on the stage next year.
One or potentially all. You never ever know. That's what I really love, the fact that there is the opportunity for the riders to be there, to be selected by their nation,
Class,
or to go
that's
through
what I
public.
say. Class riders, category 2 is a class competition. It really, really is. 7.6 kilometres. They're on that first climb. They're on the Courtiqueur. They are up the top of the first section, the nasty little kicker section. Sarah Lundin on your screen at the moment on the Pain Cave in the mix too. But look at the size of the category 2 group at the top of the first section of climb. They're going to put the small descent and then the final kicker on the Courtiqueur. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 40. I reckon there's nearly 20 women still in that category 2 leading group. The depth in the category 2 race field. Whew, I wouldn't want to be there.
Well, I kind of would, but I kind of wouldn't. I agree with you. You would. You'd love to be there racing.
Oh, I would absolutely love to be category 2. I don't do enough riding or racing at the moment to get past about category 5. But you never know.
Sarah London, well in the top 20 there at the moment. I think that is where I'd expect it. 11th last week in the Sunday Race Club. Definitely a rider who is going to be figuring out, thinking that overall. 6 categories out on the race at the moment, with category 6 leading out the riders, category 1 being the last riders to leave the pens. The riders, in theory, all coming together as we come into the finish so that we can cover all of it. We don't just cover the elite racing here on MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. We cover all 6 race categories in the men's and women's competition.
Well, let's just do that by just heading back to the top of the Courtiqueur, because category 4 have gone through, and it is Suzanne Stenman from Miriam Taylor, Veronica Wojcikova, Catherine Montoya, and Maria Hallmarson, who have gone through in the top 5, picking up points on the climb. In category 3, Matt?
Category 3, Barbara Balowa taking maximum points of 5 points. Brittany Litton taking 4. Gemma Daniels taking 3. Angelica Altamarina taking 2. And Jen Riel taking 1 point. Massive group of riders really together.
13.
I mean, it was a little bit broken. It was 5-6 seconds across the first 2, with Balowa just clear, but I can't imagine she's going to stay clear in that, as we're going to drop in with category 5, who we'd seen go over earlier on in the racing, with Giuliano taking that victory from Andalusia, Mongeli, Gaini, Erahek. At the moment, the leading group, well, it's pretty much together. They're just 1 or 2 riders distance off the back of this pack, fighting to come back in. They're picking up riders in category 6 on the way through. Those are the riders in the purple jerseys. Giuliano with the polka dot skin suit at the moment as they go over the top of the Valkenburg climb with the reservoir. It does make it a little bit easier for us. Every time we go, when we see water on this course, there's not many places where you get a big lake. It means you're on the top of the Valkenburg. I'm 100% certain there is no reservoir in person at the top of the Valkenburg. It's not. It's the top of a hill.
Well,
I mean, it's good for us
computer
on here.
coders have license to be creative.
License to create.
License to create. Have you secured your license to create?
Me, definitely not. Just computer coding way beyond my brain cells. That is for sure. Jackie Giuliano did a great job in category 5 there as we go in with category 2 coming up towards the summit here. Just around this left-hand turn, 3 riders sprinting it out at the moment for these points. You can just see Penner, Denton and Nyquist on your screen. A sprint for the line as they went in over the line in category 2 at the top of the quarter. Kia, Vittori and Penner in the mix. So is Bassoni and Haag, but I think it was Katarzyna Wellner who's taken that away. It is indeed. So Katarzyna Wellner taking away the 5 points. Vittori taking 4, Penner taking 3, Bassoni taking 2, and Haag taking 1. Tiffany Penner up in the mix here. Not somebody who would necessarily say is a pure climber by any stretch of the imagination, but using the skills on the platform to race really, really strongly. So our riders up and away in the racing as they go, and Roberto Bassoni at the moment. Now on our screens, Bassoni right up in that climbing mix in category 2. 4th place at the top of that climb, nicely in the bunch there. That Bassoni, a rider who really likes it when we've got some really big, steep climbs. Today, they're steep, but they are short and sharp, and I think that's going to make things just that little bit tougher. Just in that pain cave, once again, the bike's hung up in the background with Roberto Bassoni, the Italian rider, in the middle of this main lead group. In category 2, still a very big group here with Roche, Hebersmith, along with Brooke in here. Very, very familiar names in the mix in category 2 in this bunch making the way through. Category 2, for me, this is where if you are a talented rider, but you don't have the time to be almost full-time or have that setup, you actually are in a position where you're probably as far as you can go. I think it's very difficult to go beyond category 2 without dedicating an incredible amount of time to your racing.
Well, I think even in category 2, you're dedicating an incredible amount of time to your racing.
Yeah.
But to Massey, Guerra and Van Hooling, 3 women on our screens at the moment, all dedicated and committed. They're in that category 1 bunch at the 8.7 kilometre marker at the top of the first part of the quarter Kia. They are about to come onto the second step. You can see on the top right-hand corner of the screen, the group is split. There is this group we are looking at, which is the leading group in category 1. We've then got a couple of riders dropped off the back. Alongside Tomasi, Guerra and Van Hooling, Alberg is in here, Bruni is in here, Koinstenen, Fua, Kulczynski, Kolkwitz, Van Hoven, Kalman are the riders off the back.
Sorry, I was just absorbed by the racing, as always. As the
there is that issue that sometimes you just want to watch it and you forget to talk.
I don't suffer that too much, but it does happen every now and then. Anybody who knows me will know I don't suffer that too much. Says the man who could commentate on making coffee. As we see a push here now, Elise Gallegos on the attack here, rider who we saw sprinting time and time again on stage 3 of the World Championships, showing that she has still got plenty left in the legs after the championships, because Gallegos on the front at the moment as we're coming towards the top. It takes a little bit of respite and then it eases off again. Gabby Guerra straight onto the wheels here, so Guerra still ready to race even after yesterday's performances. So Gallegos and Guerra with Kulczynski, with Fua, Van Hooling, Sopers, all in the mix here as they come on towards the top section of this climb. It's now Gabby Guerra who is leading out the rider who's at the centre left of your screen in person. in Abu Dhabi, in the hotel room, racing towards the summit. Kolchinsky's coming up towards us, so is Van Heulen Gallegos. But look at this, Guerra is definitely on a mission today.
Yeah, she is indeed. She's up and out of that saddle and she is giving it everything. She swings around the corner and sees the polka dot banner. She'll go underneath and boom, our avatar will change into polka dots. And Tomasi, Kolchinsky, Fua, Van Heulen, Gallegos all behind. The pack now sweeping back to Guerra's wheel.
It would be super cool, wouldn't it, when we have our rider cams, if we actually could have the team throw over the in-person camera the riders in their polka dots. So we would see Guerra, Velna, Bulwara, Stemmen, Giuliano and Sudibayo in their pain cave with a generated, whatever they're wearing, replaced with the polka dot version in their pain cave.
No. Gabby Guerra in Category 1 led them through 16 minutes, 19 seconds. Katarzyna Velna led through Category 2. I got to stop myself laughing because the production team have just said in our ears, please don't give the guys any further ideas about what they might want to do. And
that's a challenge show down there, isn't it? Because I don't think that's possible, but it probably is.
Well, one day it will be possible, I tell you, but I'm going to hold on to for personal individual choice about what you're wearing in your pain cave. Well, Catherine Fua, Emily Sopers, Kristen Kolchinsky, all in the mix at the front of this pack. They're continuing to drive on, and you can see the damage that push from Guerra has done at the top of the climb because further a couple of riders have been dropped from the group.
So those in contention need to be in contention now over the top, to use Emma's favourite phrase. You've got to treat every summit like a finish line and be right at the front of the race as you go over the top. It's very difficult to get back on again, although there is this long plateau top to the top once you go on over the Kortekeer that includes that Thyssenhoven-Molen sprint. Windmill, for those people who... Thyssenhoven-Molen is a windmill. Yeah.
There you go. The windmill sprint.
Yeah, Molen is a mill and Hoven is the wind. It's a Thyssenhoven-Molen sprint, basically. It's a windmill sprint.
There we go. Well, Amy Sudabayo has company. They are at the 24.9 kilometre marker. They're on the Eichenberg Hill before the Eichenberg climb. Sudabayo still in those polka dots, telling us that she has been pushing on over the Volkenberg as well. Ante Damnice, the only rider in Category 6 able to stay with her. Jaskalainen, Lloyd, Hadjuk, Almeida, the 4 riders in the chasing group.
So the riders at the moment having made their way up and over in Category 5. Just taking a look at Category 6 here at the moment, and they're moving on really well, aren't they? I mean, 25 kilometres covered. This is going to be the Eichenberg Hill, isn't it, that they're on now? And we've got the Eichenberg climb to come. The 2 riders on the front, Sudibayo and Damnice, they figured strongly week on week at the moment.
Yeah, and, they do.
At the moment, they're showing a clean pair of heels to Jaskalainen, to Hadjuk, Lloyd, Almeida, Limburg. I mean, these are not slouches behind. These are quick riders. At the moment, these 2, though, this route just really seems to suit them.
It does, and it's that type of riding, you know, short, sharp, punchy climbs. And but at the moment, you know, we've still got the Eichenberg climb to come. They will drop off at the top of this climb straight into the Eichenberg climb. Then there's an 8.8 kilometre run to the finish line, which is fairly flat until they get to around 1 kilometre to go. Damnice and Sudabayo, I think, will be the 2 riders contending it because of that climb. But I don't think that chase group are ever going to be far behind.
Predictions already. Loving it. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. We'll see whether Emma's predictions are going to come true as we continue to watch the racing. At the moment, Category 1, our last set of riders to leave the pens in the Thyssenhoven-Molen sprint. Indeed, here it comes as they are on the way in to Massey contesting this with Van Heulen and Bruni as they go underneath. I think that was Van Heulen from Tomasi and Bruni, not necessarily in that order. Van Heulen taking away top spot with Mel Bruni in second, Francesca Tomasi in third, Elise Gallegos in fourth, Maria Holcroft taking the final point on the way through the Thyssenhoven-Molen sprint. So Van Heulen taking advantage, maybe some tired legs on that kick going through, taking away category one. Penra taking away the sprinting category two. She's going really well at the moment. The
Yeah.
Pavia sprinting as always, as is Montoya. Andalou riding strongly with Lloyd there in there as well in the mix as well. They're the winners in each of our categories. No real surprises in some ways, but Andalou's riding maybe just a little bit better this
Well,
week.
it's interesting because she's only come into the Sunday Race Club recently, and she really is at the top of, or towards the top of, Category 5. So beautiful positioning in terms of which category she slotted into. But she's really competitive, and I think, as we always say, you come into the Sunday Race Club, it takes a little while to learn the racing, to learn where to be, to learn when to expend the energy, to learn when to save the energy, and to learn and understand the momentum and the courses and how they race, because racing is very different to riding.
100%. I couldn't agree more with racing is different to riding. Racing is something is different to riding. Really interesting watching Nikki Lloyd just making sure that little avatar there, just getting into that aero tug, just making the most of that. And you can just see at the moment out of the saddle, just letting the bike freewheel. The watts drop to zero. It goes into aero tug. She's taking a drink from the bottle. Almeida, you can see at the moment, still continuing to pedal on that descent. You are a big fan of micro rests, Emma.
I am a huge fan of micro rests. Wherever you can conserve that energy and utilize the ability to drop the heart rate, and that super tuck being part and parcel of that arsenal. It just gives you the range to go again. If your heart rate's at 168 and your max is 175, and you can drop it by 8 beats by a micro rest, you've got the range to go again.
Yeah, I like macro rests, like sleeping.
Macro rests.
Yeah, we keep on going.
Really long
you've
ones.
got really long rests, like really long, like a 20-minute climb and then a 20-minute downhill. I don't like the 20-minute climb so much, but a 20-minute downhill is always good fun.
Well,
heart rate drops right down there.
At the moment, Category 5 on the left-hand side of your screen, the pack is rolling at 25.7. The Category 6, well, this is the chase group in Category 6, not the Category 6 leaders. The Category 6 leaders are around 15 seconds up the road. They're at the 27.2 kilometre marker. They are around 10.5k from the finish line, because it's a 37.7 kilometre race today here in Belgium for the women.
So the women's race route, as Emma says, 37.7 kilometres in distance, 395 metres of climbing, 3 climb checkpoints. Probably, I would realistically call that what is nearer to 6 actual climbs in terms of the profile. We've got 2 sprint checkpoints, the Thyssenhoven-Molen sprint, the last of the 2 checkpoints today in the sprints competition. So any of those riders who are wearing the green jerseys, as they've gone through after the Thyssenhoven-Molen sprint, are going to be our leaders as they come in through. This is a course which really has, after that flat start, a big mid-section and then a little bit more rest or potential to chase. Let's take another quick refresh to remind you where our riders are at. Leading riders Category 6 and Category 5 in that duo of climbs that are finished by the Eichenberg climb checkpoint on the right hand of the 2 summits. The last climb checkpoint, that's at the 28.9 kilometre marker. This 8.8 kilometres then to the finish from the summit of the last climb checkpoint. So a substantial distance for the riders to do. In fact, there's 9.5 kilometres between the Valkenburg climb and the Eichenberg climb, but that is punctuated by the Eichenberg hill in between. All of our riders over the Kortekia climb, the first climb, and Category 1 riders, the last riders to set off on their way to that Valkenburg climb checkpoint. That's where the reservoir is up at the top of the climb. So the riders at the moment, pretty much everybody now starting to run in towards the second half of the race, or in the case of Category 5 and 6, in towards the last third, if not quarter of that race. The last 8.8k are critical. It's a long way to stay clear, and that's where I think we're going to see Sinabeo and Denise maybe feel the effects of being 2 riders versus 4 or 5 riders chasing behind, because you've got a long run in. Emma, 2 riders clear coming into the finish. Do you think they can stay clear with that run in?
Yes.
That was a very definitive answer.
Well, sometimes it needs to be. Category 6, 16.4 kilometres into the race. Category 2 pushing on. It's such a big pack in Category 2 at 19k. The 24.3 is the category 3-pack, and 28.1 is the 6-pack. And the 6-pack, well, there's a 4-pack on the screen. 4 Brazilian riders. The Brazilian squads are just phenomenal, and the Brazilian riders really getting to grips with the Sunday Race Club and putting in some great performances.
So Gabby Guerra, Ruti Rees, Michelle de Pavia, along with Jacqueline Almeida, the 4 riders in person at the base of your screen, going from left to right. And then, of course, the avatars in action as well in their various race categories. Brazil has really become a bit of a powerhouse when it comes to great performances on the Sunday Race Club and in cycling esports.
And can I say, particularly from the women?
Yes, I would say definitely. I think the men need to up their game somewhat to catch up.
Well, there we go. At the 19.4 kilometre mark, this is category 2. They are heading underneath the Valkenburg climb. Big pack of riders coming through, really, really strong. And you can see the push from the back of the group trying to come back in. Katarzyna Wellner has led them through 31 minutes, 38 seconds to that point. Anna Caramello, the rider from Portugal, she has done a sterling job right on the heels of Wellner. Bassoni is there, Vittori is there, Haag is there. Those are the 5 riders who pick up the points. Denton, Engstrom, Larson, Hebersmith, Penner, Brook, Wagner, Lucas, Karamani, Wiseman, London, Schneider, Manshandi, Ramut, Roach. I'm just seeing how far back this group is going.
It's huge.
19, 20 riders at the moment. Holly Bergin is in the mix as well. So is Maria Marb. They're the riders pushing on towards the back of the group. Malene Proust and Stephanie Briggs have got a little bit of work to do. They are just off the back.
And you can see Christine Schneider, a rider who we were talking about those World Championship semi-finals. Good to see Christine once again rode really strongly in those semi-finals. And definitely a rider who have got the potential, I think, to see on a world stage in pretty short order, one way or another. I think we'll be very interested to see how she goes on today's course, because I think this is a course that suits her particular skill set. I think it's that kind of puncher's course, that ruler type course, rather than a pure climber, rather than a pure sprinter. She's got all that real mix of skills. The big group spread out as we go in with Amy Sudabayo in person and in the avatar. Coming up to the top of the climb, she's dropped Denise here for 6 seconds.
She has indeed. So Sudabayo goes underneath the polka dot banner, as she has every previous one, and holds on to that polka dot skin suit. Great racing from Amy Sudabayo. Really, really strong. She's coming up to the 29 kilometre mark. She's got 8.8k to go to the finish. Damnese is going to come onto her wheel, and the two of them are going to transition, I think, to that final climb, where it will come down to a race between the two. Sudabayo has got to feel confident in her ability to take the win today. But the question is, has Anta Denise got anything left for the finish?
Denise beat Sudabayo last week. Denise was second, Sudabayo was fourth. Sudabayo's got the polka dot skin suit. She's going to take that away. For me, it's such a battle between the riders. They've got to think about all these different competitions on the way through.
They do, and I think one of the other things that we need to throw into the mix is this is a Category 5 group coming up to exactly the same spot. Natalia Andalun is just come through, and she's been riding a phenomenal race. So is Jackie Giuliano. The two of them battling head-to-head, but Palma Mongeli and Marie Guiney, Martina Erevet, Katie Bago, all in the mix. It's the big group of Category 5 riders. I think this group will catch the chase group in Category 6 and potentially come up to Sudabayo and Damnese on the run into the finish. It could affect the racing, but, well, I think it's about the timing of when the groups collide.
Yeah, when the Category 5 riders catch, whereabouts in the progression to the finish, the Category 5 lead bunch catch the chasers, and when they then catch the leaders, and if the Category 6 chasers can stay with the Category 5 leaders that come through, which if it's on the fly, is actually it's not an impossible task by any stretch of the imagination, and certainly can be done on the way through. I think it's going to be very, very telling. We're going to have to see exactly what happens as the riders descend down. We can see Giuliano confirmed in that polka dot skin suit in Category 5 for the climate competition. Giuliano taking away that win overall. Andalou taking away the win in the sprints competition. No more checkpoints in either sprints or climbs now in Category 6 or Category 5. Those are in and through, as long as the riders come through. And of course, that verification process confirms everybody. They're the riders who'll be taking away those prizes at the end of the day. So the Valkenburg climb done and dusted for all but Category 1. The Eichenberg climb done for Categories 5 and Category 6. Category 1, the next set of riders to come over the top of the Valkenburg climb, and it's our climbs leader Gabby Guerra who's going to take away maximum points here in the climb competition. Comes through just ahead of the rest of the bunch with Bruni, Tomasi and Moroz coming through behind. We're just going to just get confirmation. Gabby Guerra taking away the Valkenburg climb for Category 1 with Bruni, Tomasi, Moroz and Holcroft in that order. They're the top 5 riders through going and scoring points. And Guerra now with 2 wins, putting herself in prime position to take away the climbs competition overall. Guerra leading for Category 1 over the top of the Valkenburg climb. Velnov in Category 2, Balara in Category 3, Stemmen in Category 4, Giuliano in Category 5, and Sudibayo going over the top of the Valkenburg climb in Category 6. And we know that Giuliano and Sudibayo confirmed after going over the Eichenberg climb as well, further down the race route, a little bit closer to the finish.
Yeah, 14 riders in that leading group in Category 1 as they transition now past the 20-kilometre marker. On the right-hand side of your screen, though, Damnis and Sudibayo are together, 27 seconds back to the chase group. And I'm just taking a look. It's 46 seconds back to the leading pack in Category 5. They've got, just doing a bit of a check, 6.2k. No, 5.2k.
That was Matt's massive work
Do
there, wasn't it?
you know what? I might have been busy last night.
Really? Can't imagine why.
Might be a little bit screen fatigued.
I've got my proper screen glasses on today.
Oh, well, there we go.
Need it, definitely. Gonna make,
I put my contact lenses in very late today.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, okay. Yes. Anyway, enough of the optical details of the commentary box here. As we go across, you can see our leaders on the road of the first leaders away, Category 6 on the road. Category 1, the last leaders away, sandwiched in between. You can see at the moment we're dropping in. Good to go in with Category 3 at the moment. They've been having a real ding-dong battle out on the race route. Still a lot of riders in contention. Yao, the rider furthest up the road, but just starting to be pulled back here. And interestingly, it's the polka dot skin suit who's coming back towards them. Brittany Litton had a good race last time out in Category 3. Definitely interesting to see what she can do here today. She was strong on the segments, but probably would have liked a higher result overall in Category 3,
yeah, I think Brittany Litton's been putting in some great performances this month. She's definitely coming into some fabulous form for the winter season, which is absolutely wonderful to see. Always great to go in with Brittany Litton. But part and parcel of this Category 3 pack at the 28.6 kilometre marker, you can see them pushing Barbara Bulwara, another rider coming into some fabulous form, which again is great to see. And you can see her on your screen at the moment. But Carmen Yao leading the bunch. Vanessa Murray, one of the newer riders to the Sunday Race Club, in there too.
Real mix of riders. This kick up to the top of the climb is going to be key now. Balara, who you can see on our screen here, just waiting for the moment to go really hard here. Just starting to wind up, just watching the body language from Barbara Balara in person on the left-hand side, watching the result with the avatar on the right-hand side. Just changes gear there, reaches down for the gear lever, clicks the gear. She's not going to go over the front of this group. She'll have been doing the maths on the way through, but just seeing that skin suit change shoulders onto the shoulders of Gemma Daniels, just waiting to see if that is confirmed. It's looking like Daniels has taken that. So on that last climb of Balawa, losing the jersey to Daniels, and there are no more opportunities to take back any time. So going over the top of the Eichenberg climb, I just watched Emma wind her iPad up there.
Well, it was taking a little while. I had to give it a quick turn.
Is it feeling a bit tired? Is it feeling the effects of last night?
Yeah, you sometimes have to turn the handle on the machinery.
Give the hamster a little bit more food that's generating the power
exactly.
inside. Okay. So I was saying, riders go up over the top. Daniel's confirmed in the climb competition. It's going to be, I think, the Pavia in the Sorry, Montoya. No, it's to Pavia in Category 3. It's Montoya in Category 4 in the sprints competition, confirmed as they go through because they've taken the wins. No more checkpoints now. It's all about that run to the finish in our categories. We are in with Category 5. I was going to say the Category 5 leaders. I'm correcting that, but it's the Category 5 leaders and the Category 6 chasers, and it's one corner separating them from the lead.
Well, we did indeed say that we were expecting these groups to come together, and they have at the 33-kilometre marker. Still 4.7k to go here in the race that Mongeli, Andelin, Becerra, Erevec, Giuliano and Bago, the riders in the Category 5 race, coming up onto Lloyd, Almeida, Hadjuk, in the Category 6 race. But what's interesting is one of the riders in the Category 6 race just pushing on at the moment in that chase group. And of course, we've got Sudibayo and Damnice around 30 plus seconds down the road.
And one of the things for me here is there's not a huge speed differential. It's taken a long time to just close these last few meters as the Category 5 come to Category 6, and that makes it easier to get on board. You know, you imagine trying to jump on board a moving vehicle. Is that if you're from another moving vehicle, if your speed differential is great, it's virtually impossible. If the speeds are similar, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, it does. And
I've actually done that.
Well, it's also one of the reasons to put a kick in when a group are coming up and closing the gap, because if they're closing the gap, their momentum is more, which means you then have to pick up to jump on board. And that is indeed what some of these riders have done. And they've now on board in terms of this one large pack here. Now, Pamela Mongeli pushing on strongly at the front. The challenge being here, because of the size of the group, the draft is strong. So if Mongeli is pushing at 3.9 to try and drop the Category 6 riders, it's not necessarily going to happen, because the differential in terms of pace that enables you within the draft, that Category 6 group can stay.
I'm not. I don't know why I'm nodding in the studio, because you can't see it, but yeah, I'm nodding in the studio in agreement with that one. Nikki Lloyd, Jacqueline Almeida, and Palmer Mongeli, the riders on our screens. Category 5 leaders, Category 6 chasers, all together. One big group now on their way down the road. It's 26 seconds the difference here between the group and the leaders. We've got 3k to go. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close.
And I think it was a really great example there of, Mongeli doing 3.6, 3.7 on the front, riders in the group behind doing 2.5, 2.7, 2.9, and able to stay in the draft. So the group stayed together, and it just shows you the differential in terms of the energy conservation by drafting.
Yep, definitely. Very much the case. Category 4, in with Seba Al Ray at the moment, on the way through this. This leading group of Category 4 are not that far behind. We're talking about 2 groups coming together. We could see 3 groups coming together here very easily. They're the Category 4 leaders at the moment at 33.6 kilometres covered. Currently traveling at 33 kilometres an hour. In with Rebecca Johnson, the sunshine blazing down in the pain cave there, as Johnson continues to tick those kilometres on. Just nicely in this group, going to be thinking about the finish. And that's what the riders now realistically, that whilst they're watching the screens, they've got to be thinking, right, what is my plan?
Yeah.
If somebody goes down the road, am I going to chase? If it comes to a sprint, where do I want to be in this group? What's my optimum chances of taking this race win?
Well, it's a climb. So there's the final few meters to the checkered flag is, it's one steep climb. And it's going to be interesting to see. They will know that. They'll be planning for that. And the riders who are strong climbers will be thinking about how do they conserve their energy but stay in the group until they get to the point. Well, Maria Holdcroft in this Category 1 pack at the moment, coming up to the 25-kilometre marker. They're coming up towards the top of the Eichenberg Hill. They then drop down and they go up the Eichenberg climb. But Bruni, Holdcroft, Guerra, Van Hooling, Sopers, Gallegos, Kolczynski, Fua, all in the group and pushing on strongly. But 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 riders, 11. Well, if you count Kiddle, just pushing into the pack in that group still.
So still a substantial sized amount of riders in there. Just in with Nicole Mayer, rider who rode really well in the World Championships yesterday, part of that American pack, quarter of the race field.
Yeah, and all credit to anybody who's riding from their hotel room today, because I'm just trying to think how many hours it has been since they came off stage, and I think that's about 15 hours ago.
And it's not just the fact they're riding. You're talking about putting the bike, the turbo trainer, mate, having the connections in place, making sure you've got enough skin suits, warm-up gear, riding gear,
And can I
hydration
just say,
fluid, fuel, the
we've
lot.
just gone in with Camilla Olberg. I did see some footage of the Swedish women's team eating pizza in the arena after the race.
No pizza commentary from us this year, though.
No.
No, we did that last year, but this year no pizza commentary from us. I think you need to follow. I think it might be Kristen Kolchinsky. It's on her feed somewhere.
Yes,
the pizza eating commentary from last year. But all power. Well, I like that.
So do I. You know,
not the pizza eating commentary. The fact that they were eating pizza.
Exactly. No, I agree. The fact that the team got together afterwards, they were sat watching the other racing. They were all sitting, chatting, debriefing the race, eating pizza. Absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
World Championship riders are humans.
They are, and that's one of the things I think that the World Championship showed us. The people who produce these amazing performances.
Yeah.
You know, we saw Mo Bruni in person come onto the stage, waving to the crowd in the stands, making a way to her riding position there. A rider that we don't always see on the Sunday
and what
race
a
club.
phenomenal athlete, and you know what a phenomenal year she's had from taking away yet again the World Duathlon Long Distance Championship title. She then went to Kona and she rode the Ironman. She's ridden, you know, etc. Or raced the Ironman, because it's not just riding, is it? It's swimming and running as well. And then, you know, she comes to the Cycling Esports World Championships and takes 5th place. What a year!
I hope she doesn't have any other hobbies or any other passions outside
no, but she's
of work.
got a full-time job.
It's incredible. I have no idea. Her time management must be it is world class, because it's producing world championship performances time and time again. Brilliant to see. Right, our riders on the way down. We've just seen one or two of the Category 2 riders just tucking in. Hannah Hakkinen, one of those riders in Category 2, just diving in. Looks like Julie Markman also just trying to make sure that she stays in the wheels here, because it's much harder here when you're a Category 2 rider to stay with Category 1, because you're on the dip down, and this is kind of almost, you want to be caught just at the top, make the most of the downhill, and then have a long flat section to stay in there. But they've got the climb, the Eichenberg climb, and if we see Guerra get accelerate to try and maximise her points there to take away the checkpoint, that will result in a speeding up of the rest of the group, because they won't want to give her any distance. And in Category 2, that's going to make life difficult for any riders who have just been surfing the Category 1 wheels.
Well, Category 2 have just gone over the top of the Eichenberg climb as Category 1 went in. Haag, Vittori, Vellner, Caramello and Bassoni picking up points, but the pack at 19 riders. The Category 5 race, however, are around 700 metres from the finish, and just ahead of them, 11 seconds up the road, Sudabayo and Damnice are on the climb. They too are the leaders in the Category 6 race. Sudabayo now starting to push on, but Damnice absolutely adamant she's not losing the wheel. You can see the Category 5 leaders coming from behind. There's 500 metres of climbing left to go here on the Sunday Race Club.
And Amy Sudabayo with a smile on her face as she's climbing this hill. She's starting to drop down knees here. You can see Sudabayo third from the left at the bottom of your screens. But all these riders coming into race finish, Mongeli, Almeida, Sudabayo and Lloyd at the moment. But Amy Sudabayo still holding off this pack from Category 5. The Category 6 riders not able to stay with the pace of the Category 5 riders in that chasing group. And it means that Guiney now at the moment really starting to accelerate up and looking to close down the gap on Sudabayo, but time is running out.
It is indeed, and Sudabayo is tapping a fabulous rhythm here, 94 revs per minute as she continues to ride up this climb. She's racing her way towards the finish line here on the Sunday Race Club. It's qualifier number 3 in November, and Sudabayo is doing the business here in Belgium. Guiney, well, very different style of riding, because Guiney is pushing on and pushing on strongly. She comes up onto Sudabayo's wheel. She's leading the Category 5 race as she goes past the leader in the Category 6.
So at the moment, it's Anne-Marie Guiney on the way up the climb leading this. But look at the response from Sudabayo. Sudabayo is not letting this go. She's got a gap on the rest of the Category 6 races, as Guiney has got a gap of 6 seconds on a Vainpura in the Category 5 at the moment. Anne-Marie Guiney absolutely rocketing away up. The banner comes into sight. This is going to be the run for the finish line. This is the run for race of victory. Anne-Marie Guiney. She's taken 2 first places already. She's had a second place. This will be her triumvirate of race victories. Anne-Marie Guiney is going to come to the line in qualifier race number 3 for her 3rd win on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club here in Belgium on Sunday.
Well, Guiney comes through across the line. The battle is on behind in Category 5 as they start coming through the line thick and fast. But Sudibayo comes through the line for the win in Category 6.
And a great ride by Amy Sudibayo there to take her 4th victory in the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. 44th participation for Amy Sudibayo in the Sunday Race Club. I think it was the 14th for Guiney in the Sunday Race Club. At the moment in Category 4, our next set of leaders to make it to the finish, it's Miriam Taylor who's leading at the moment. Great ride by Miriam. Good to see a newer face, I think, just up at the front of the racing in Category 4.
Yeah, brilliant to see Taylor doing a superb job here. Krasova is the rider behind, but so is Harmanson, Atalupa, Al Ray, Vochakova. They are not that far back, but Taylor has put the push in right at the perfect time here. The UCI banner is coming at the top of the climb, and Taylor now 4 seconds clear of the chase behind. There is a bit of a push from Halmarson coming, but I think Taylor has done enough.
I would agree with you there. Miriam Taylor, she's raced 10 Sunday race clubs before today. Today on the 11th one, she's going to take her first victory. She's had a top 5. This time, it's the top step on the podium in Category 4 for Miriam Taylor. She takes away the race win ahead of Katerina Krasova in 2nd, Maria Halmarson in 3rd. It's going to be Atahualpa in 4th, and Al Ray sprinting through to take away 5th place, subject to confirmation. Remember all of the results on www.mywhoosh.com. Just click on results in the menu and go to the women's qualifier race number 3.
Do-do, do-do, do-do. I had to do a little bit of Jaws there because look at the pack. Look at the size of the Category 3 pack coming into the final climb there. 700 metres from the finish line, and Barbara Bulwara starts to push on the front. Gemma Daniels, Carmen Yao, Angelica Altamirano, David Davison, Eva Essler, Chelsea Magnus, all in the mix. Chelsea Magnus, one of the newer riders to the Sunday Race Club. Fantastic to have the adventure racer here. Oh, I love a bit of adventure racing. But it is absolutely fabulous to have her here. She may well be a master of all sorts of activities, but right now she is on the turbo trainer in the Pain Cave, giving it everything at the finale of the Category 3 race. Gemma Daniels comes to the front. Dana Davison, DePavia, Bulwara and Litton are on your screen, but it's Daniels out in front at the moment. Bulwara, Real, Essler, Altamirano, Murray, all doing the chasing here. Gemma Daniels now starting to be closed down here, but there's 400 metres to go, but it's 400 metres uphill.
It's 400 metres uphill. Daniels, who had taken that polka dot skin suit from Barbara Bulwara, who had held it all the way to the final climb. Now, is this where Bulwara gets her revenge on Daniels? Daniels in the polka dot skin suit. Bulwara is the blue jersey. These two riders are not clear on their own either. Kimber Niller is coming up pace behind, and she's going to close down on the wheels. The youngster from the Philippines closing with her compatriot Angelica Altamirano. Whatever you could do, I could do too, says Altamirano. Vanilla and Altamirano at the moment is going to be moving up through this group. The question will be, can they close all the way down to Daniels, who's still got a fractional gap? It's Altamirano, Vanilla chasing Daniels. Bulwara at the moment just being distanced. Daniels is leading. She's got another injection of pace. She's gone to 6.8 watts per kilo. Massive kick from Kim Bonilla, though. Bonilla is looking to go over the top. Surely this is going to be Kim Bonilla's with that pace, with that momentum. We will find out. This is the run. This is the kick. This is the win for Bonilla. Kim Bonilla takes away the race victory. And it's her 4th win on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. It is going to be her 8th podium. Vanilla comes through.
0.4 of a second over the top of Jenna Daniels. Kim Bonilla takes the win by Altamirano in 3, Eva Essler in 4, Jen Reel in 5. Bulwara ended up in 6th, Carmen Yao in 7th, Dana Davison in 8th, Vanessa Murray in 9th, and DePavia rounding out the top 10.
So we have category 6, 5, 4, and 3 winners coming in and through the line. Now, question will be, what's going to happen? Category 2, category 1. Category 2 is a huge bunch. Category 1, well, category 1 is always smaller, but it's still a reasonable sized bunch in there. It's all going to explode on the final run to the line. Gone to plan so far? Gone to what you expected, Emma, in categories 3, 4, 5, and 6?
Well, I always think the racing is interesting, and I think expectations are always there to be shattered.
Okay.
So please come shatter my racing expectations.
Okay. An odd request on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club today.
No, it's not odd. I love it when riders do something different. I love a brave rider. I love it when we see people coming into form. And I love to see the change of the guard. And I think, shattering those expectations, coming in and looking at a start sheet and going, well, it's A, B, and C. Those are the expectations you set by looking at a start sheet. It's a bit by looking at a parkour, looking at a race course and going, well, that's where the attack's going to go. This is where that's going to go. This is how I'd ride it. And then boom, the race doesn't do what you expect it to. Shattering those expectations is absolutely fabulous.
And that's what happens on the Sunday Race Club week in, week out. You could be here. Don't forget, of course, MyWhoosh is free. There is no monthly subscription. It is quite literally no fee, no fuss, just race. Or, of course, you can just ride. You can do the training sessions as well. Make sure you download the app. Give it a go. It's really simple. Go on to the website, download on iOS, on Android, or on Windows. You could be racing the Sunday Race Club. You could be riding those training sessions, or you could be chased by zombies.
Yes, you could. I've been chased by zombies. It's great fun. It's just like, oh my goodness.
Something you hear every day of the week.
Well, I have to say it. Do you know what? If you want to practice a fast start and you want to practice staying ahead of a group, go get chased by zombies. Absolutely brilliant. Really good gig, and I really enjoyed it. It's a bit addictive, actually. Once you start, you just can't stop.
I'm sure there's a strap line there somewhere for confectionery as well. I have to agree with you. I mean, once upon a time, that sort of that race-based kicks, we'd be doing just sprinting on turbo trainers or on rollers or on the side of the road. Now you get chased by zombies. My, how the world has changed.
It has.
Right, we have 4 riders who are going to look to rock the Category 2 world with Roberta Bassoni, Tiffany Penner, Rianne Denton, and Christine Schneider in Category 2. As we go in with Category 1, it looks like Van Hove and Mira at the moment just being distanced here from the leading group. Surely they've got the power to get back on again.
Yeah,
this is just a
they're going to
momentary
close it
blip.
down. They are indeed going to close it down. And the pack on the front, taking some recovery at the moment at the 33-kilometre marker. They're on the transition towards the final climb. And you can just see the bumps starting on the top right-hand corner of the screen. But the pack steady state riding at the moment in Category 1 between those climbs today. There's a lot of I was going to say there's a lot of tired legs out there. There are, but there's also a lot of riders who didn't ride the World Championships yesterday in that pack as well. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens on that final climb today. The Category 2 pack rolling a little further ahead on the road. They're at 36.1. They've got 1.6k to go. They are closer to that climb. You can really see it coming up ahead of them. And Larson, Denton, Brook, Schneider, Bassoni, Ramett, and Roach all in the pack. But there's around 18, 19 riders in that pack. Expect a battle royale for the finish line.
A battle royale. We will see who's going to be crowned our queen of the stage here in Belgium, who will be taking the top of the Flemish climb as these riders make their way up. We're on our way in. The gradient will kick as we come on to the tarmac here, onto the asphalt, onto the blacktop. Velner right in here. Got to be one of the big favourites with that climber's jersey and a phenomenal sprint as well. But you've got some really strong all-round riders like Wagner. You've got riders like Lucas in here. Vittori, who's a great climber. It's so hard to tell. Cornelia Engstrom in here. And when we talk about inspirational riders, Cornelia Engstrom, definitely one of those riders. Not the worst this year, but last year, and doing a phenomenal job. Can she be the rider who takes away the victory? Bassoni goes onto the climb and instantly opens the throttles, though. The Italian climber leading here from Vittoria, another great climber, but they've got Velner for company, Haag, Caramello, Weisman is in there as well. Donna Wagner, strong rider. She's always a battler when it comes to these finishes and often springs a surprise.
Yeah, she does. It's really true. She is a strong strong rider, but, well, Bassoni is in the mix, and she's such a strong climber. But it's interesting because, we've just seen Bonilla and Ultramarino come to the fore at the very end of the climb, both strong sprinters. The climb not necessarily long enough to take the sting out of the sprinters' legs if Bonilla and Ultramarino is anything to go by, but Bassoni's given it a really good shot here. She's gone early, she's gone long, there's still 500 metres to go, but look at the size of the pack behind Vellner, Lucas, Heber, Smith in the mix, Caramello, Wagner, Manshandi. They are all within striking distance, and strike they will. It's going to be really interesting to see who comes out on top here. Bassoni on the screen, you can see the level of work going in to the moves from Roberta Bassoni, but currently it's Kirsty Heber-Smith, the rider from Great Britain, on the front.
So Heber-Smith leading from Caramello, with Vellner moving up into position. You can see the power and the pace that's required here. Roberta Bassoni, who's a superb climber at the moment, really having to fight to stay in the wheels. The gradient at 10%. It's going to ease fractionally. They're going to come round this turn. We have got less than 200 metres to go to our finishing line here at Qualifier race number 3 in category number 2 in November on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. You can see the effort that's required on the run to the finish, with Anna Caramella now leading out. Dana Wagner has moved up, though, onto her wheels. Wellner's looking to make the move to strike, but Caramello's now at nearly 7-8, now heading for 9 watts per kilo. Caramella leading this out. Anna Caramella at the moment is going to take away victory as she goes over the top of the climb. That is a phenomenal ride as she comes in over the top. What a ride by the Portuguese rider.
It was indeed. Caramello is just so strong. She takes the win in 1 hour, 1 minute and 49 seconds, 0.032 ahead of Dana Wagner, 0.34 ahead of Katarzyna Wellner. The top 3 riders in less than half a second of each other in the Category 2 race. We knew it was going to be close. Vittori, Wiseman, Bassoni, Engstrom, Denton, Manshandi, Haag, Heber-Smith, Brooke, Roach, Lundin, Larson, Schneider, Ramett, Caramello and Penna. 19 riders came into the finish line together.
Super fast and furious sprint from category 2, with Anna Caramella claiming her 5th race victory and her 6th podium in 28 participations, 28 rides on the Sunday Race Club. Also taking the Queen of the Mountains jersey on the way through as well. So the Portuguese rider from the cycling district doing the business once again in category 2. What's it going to be in category 1? There's no early strike from this group. They are waiting for that gradient to increase.
Oh, they are, absolutely. No doubt about it. And the pack rolling strongly. Still around 13, 14 riders in this group. The polka dot skin suit is here of Gabby Guerra. Francesca Tomasi is in green, and they are continuing to ride. Heather Shanks, one of our riders in the Category 2 race, pushing towards that finish line now. She's on our screen. She's up and out of the saddle and about to go under the UCI banner.
There you go, the UCI banner that you'll see over the top of the race at the World Championships today. Heather Shanks, job
Hard
done.
work, Heather. Job done.
Well done to Heather Shanks, kicking all the way into that finish line. Another set of kilometres in the bank, another race in the bank, and every K, every metre of ascent, every effort you put in, it's all extra training. Your body treats racing as more training. It's going to improve, and our riders improving week on week. It's fantastic to see the progression. The only downside is, basically, as you get better, so does everybody else.
That is so true. But Guerra at the moment in the polka dots coming to the front at the 36.7 kilometre marker. They're at the base of the climb that will take them to the finish line. Guerra, Meyer, Bruni, Tomasi in the mix. Koisten and Ulberg there as well. So is Gallegos and Catherine Fuhr. They are all lined up and ready to go because go they will. They are 800 metres from the finish line.
And Gabby Guerra has shown that she has got still plenty left in the tank after yesterday's World Championships, where she took away that silver medal. So has Tomasi and Kolczynski. We've also got fresh legs riders like Liz Van Heuling, who has got that potential to kick clear. So has Camilla Moroz. She's got a fantastic sprint as well. who is it going to be? Who is going to be able to take away the top spot here today on the Sunday Race Club? It's qualifier race number 3 on your screen. 2 of our medalists, Francesca Tomasi, who took that bronze medal in that thrilling battle into the finish. The silver medalist 2 years in a row, Gabby Guerra, on your screens in person on the left-hand side, and Liz Van Heuling, who didn't go to the World Championships, right up inside the top 5 at the moment on the road. It's Tomasi who's leading this out.
Kolczynski, Guerra, Fua, they are all on her heels. So is Van Heuling. Bruni, well, she's nearly there as well. Maria Holcroft a little bit further back, but now Gabby Guerra comes to the front. Tomasi. Oh, Van Heuling is going. Van Heuling, I think, is going to go over the top here. Will she be able to catch Guerra? It's a really big ask, a really big question, because the push is on at the moment. There's still 150 meters to go to the line.
Well, Gabby Guerra on the left of your screen, giving it absolutely everything, looking to take away her 10th victory on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. She's clear of Catherine Fua, who is coming fast. A medalist from 2024, chasing the medalist from 2024 and 25. Guerra's going to just hold on. Gabby Guerra takes away the race victory. 10 victories now. She comes through ahead of Catherine Fua, who takes away second place. Francesca Tomasi in third place.
How deep did Guerra just dig?
Oh, you can see the pain on the face of Gabby Guerra. Congratulations, Gabby. Race victory today after yesterday. If you don't take time off tomorrow, you must be crazy. There's no 2 ways about it. I have no idea.
Holiday incoming.
Please, yes, do tell us. Somebody tell us they're going to take some rest at some point. I know we're here each and every Sunday on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, watching great victories like we've just seen. Gabby Guerra taking the race victory by 0.322 of a second from Catherine Fua, who was charging up behind. Maria Holcroft coming across, taking a third place from Francesca Tomasi, who takes 4th. Those results just having updated, with Van Heuling in 5th, Kolczynski in 6th, Bruni in 7th, Gallegos in 8th, Soapers in 9th, and Moroz in 10th position. The full results are on mywhoosh.com/results. Don't forget you can jump on board there. You're getting lots of great information on mywhooshinfo.com as well. And don't forget, of course, download the app, jump on board MyWhoosh on Windows, on iOS, or, of course, on Android. Our women's race is done and dusted. I know. Qualifier race number 3 is done. It is always fantastic on Sunday Race Club in our women's race. It's also fantastic in our men's race, and that's going to be coming soon. You can get in touch with us in between. Don't forget, you can get hold of Emma at biking_Emma. You get hold of myself at Matt Fixerpain, and of course, you can get hold of MyWhoosh. You can follow them on social media at MyWhoosh on Instagram, on Facebook, and at my_whoosh on X. You can get in touch with us during the show on the live chat, so we can answer questions like, do they win prize money today, or is the prize money only for the monthly finals? There is prize money each and every Sunday Race Club.
Head over to mywhoosh.com/events and take a look.
Indeed, you can find all the details on there. So get in touch. We always love to see what you're up to. Thank you very much for watching. We are going to take a short break. We will be back in what is going to be about 25 minutes or so for the men's race. Now, you have to forgive me. My watch is, I think, decided it's had enough of trying to time everything for the moment. We'll give it a quick recharge. We'll recharge. We'll be back soon. Until we're back with the men's race, which is coming up shortly. We'll see you soon.
Goodbye.
So hello and welcome back, or hello if you're just joining us. It's MyWhoosh, it's the Sunday Race Club. It's qualifier race number 3 in November, and we just had, as we always have, an absolute blast with the women's race. That's done and dusted. Emma Martin and myself, Matt Payne, bringing you the race action for that and our upcoming men's racing qualifier race number 3. It's an absolutely bonus bonanza extra month because we have extra qualifiers, 4 qualifiers and 1 final at the end of the month. Riders able to ride all the way through, but you've got to ride 2 qualifiers to be in that team competition at the very end of the month. This week in the men, we are in Arabia.
Yes, 7 gems course. More than 7 gems out on this course today. 50.3 kilometres of racing, 351 metres of climbing. Yes, you heard correct. That is all. 4 sprint checkpoints along the way, and the first one of those coming at the 9.4 kilometre marker. Just 1 climbing segment of 1 kilometre in length.
My kind of course.
It's not the only climb. It's not the only climb on the course, but it is the only climb checkpoint at the 19.6 kilometre marker. Expect a massive sprint to pick up those points, and of course the polka dot skin suit. Then we go into the mid section. Well, I think this course is sort of thirds. First third, nice and steady, get your legs tapped in. Second third, starting with that lee work climb checkpoint, and then it gets bumpy. Bumpy is the word. We go through 2 more sprints, that third sprint coming at the 38 kilometre marker. And then as we move towards the finish line at 50.3 kilometres, the final third of the course pretty much more going back to the flatter sections that we saw at the start with that final sprint at 47.4. Yes, it's just 2.9 kilometres to the finish. Expect a possible long-range attack to go. Well, I can tell you, long-range attack at the finish. My prediction, making an early prediction, Luke Allport, go from the gun.
Ooh, I like that. That's going to be a very, very interesting one here today on the Secret Gems course here in Arabia. And the riders lined up 6 race categories. The category 6, our standard race category. Then we move up each and every category all the way to category 1, which are our elite races, including a number of our riders potentially from the World Championships. We're going to give you the warning at the start of this, as we did at the other one.
Oh.
We will be talking about the World Championships. We will be talking about the World Championships. So
if you don't want to know, watch the World Championships first.
And then come back and watch the rest of this. This is on the MyWhoosh YouTube channel all the way through. As are all of the Sunday race clubs, the MyWhoosh Championships, which is the stage race, the UCI Championships, the World Championships that we've just had. And of course, you can see our teams in all of our categories in action each and every week. And the team competition in qualifier race number 2 in category 6. Level racing, we're up against the Cycling District 6. For top honours, with Cycling District 6 having to give best to that level racing, squad level racing with Ola Warren, Thomas Corver, along with Frederick Schoberg. They are back again this week. Cycling District 6 represented by Luis Silva, Miguel Barrosa and Ricardo Mariera. And those riders will be battling it out again. There's hardly anything to separate. And the 2 teams in Category 6 last week separated by 1.577 of a second. And that's when you add up the 3 fastest riders in each teams together. That's how tight the racing is. That's how close it is. That is how much of a battle you are going to see. It's time to go racing. The men's race is up and away here on MyWhoosh on the Sunday Race Club in qualifier race number 3 in Arabia on the 7 Gems course. 50.3 kilometers of racing for our riders to cover. They have a whole 351 meters of ascent, but they are short, sharp and steep, and there isn't that much flat on this race route. To be fair, there's a lot of rolling terrain, so it's going to be pretty tough. The climbs, the individual climbs, not really any great distance on their own, but when you add them up 350 meters, it could take its effect. So we told you the top teams, top riders, Emma, that you expect today.
Oh my goodness me.
There we go.
Who do I expect today? Well, let's just start with the fact there are 68 riders on the start sheets in category 6, part of the 385 riders on the start sheets overall. Men's field just gets bigger and bigger. Now, Bachowski took the win last week from Kozel, from Silva, from Otruba and Warren. Luis Silva on your screen at the moment. He took third place last week, the rider from Portugal. He's in the mix, and I expect him to go fairly well today. But I say fairly well. Last week it was the Vessel Rock in Alula, 762 metres of climbing. That's nearly double. Well, it pretty much is double, if not more than double, what amount of climbing there is today. So for me, keep your eyes peeled for the sprinters today.
I would helps to put the mic in the right place, but I would agree entirely. Just refueling still from earlier on in the morning. Now, yeah, I agree. It is definitely potentially a sprinter's day today. Looking down the race field of riders, when it comes to sprinters, you go, yeah, okay, we've got a lot of names in there. However, I know we said that, but this can be a really, really tough course. When you've got riders like Brett McMurtry, who's on the attack now, they're going to want to make it hard. They're going to want to make it tough. And it's one thing sprinting from a bunch if you've had an easy race, and it's another thing sprinting from the bunch if you've been put on the rack.
Yeah, and I think there's many tactics that people could put into play here today. If you are an ultimate sprinter, your one tactic today is to sit in, and get the timing right at the end. A lot of riders who aren't and don't have that final kick are the riders who are going to want to make the break and to go clear. And they will work together to attempt to do that. Ibrahim on our screen at the moment. And he is one of the newer riders to the Sunday Race Club, but has been putting in some great performances since he's joined. He is right at the front of the group, but in the draft, you can see that because his power numbers are green.
They are indeed, and the sky is blue, as is his jumper. I'm loving that. Is amazing colour coordination between the blue of the sky in the background and his jersey as well. Yeah, it literally does pick it out. Don't know if his eyes are blue. Can't see that on the screen. I was thinking of anything else that could be blue on the screen, but it's pretty much that's about it.
Well, the pace at the Category 6 race is really fast and furious. Look at the stretch on the group. It really is motoring at the moment. They're just shy of 40 kilometres an hour, 2K in. And normally at this point we'd go, well, that's because the sprint checkpoint is coming. But no sprint point till the 9.4 kilometre marker. This is just the start of the Category 6 race.
It's interesting that point you make about the distance to the checkpoint, because I was looking at the distances. Sometimes we get them clustered together on the race route. On this race route today, between each of our checkpoints, 9.4K, 10.2K, 6.6K, 11.8K, 9.4K.
They're equidistant, nearly.
They're definitely more evenly spaced than we often see, which should give more chances for recovery, but it depends what the riders do. In with Xavier Maillard, one of our Belgian riders, they're resplendent there in the MyWhoosh jersey that he picked up. I'm sure that was for the MyWhoosh Championships in 2023, if I remember correctly.
All I can say is keep your eyes peeled for Xavier Maillard today. He could be one of those riders there or thereabouts at the finish.
He could indeed. He could be the rider who's taken away victory. We will have to see. Category 6, well underway. Category 5, where Emma's already made a prediction. I'll get her lined up and ready to go. Now, Category 5, we saw a battle between 4 teams, very close between all 4 teams. In fact, 38 seconds separated Level Up, who were 4th, Cycling District, who were 3rd, Level Raiders, who were 2nd, and the Cycling District 5 team who took away the win in Category 5. The winning team, Junior Alberto Pens, along with Alex Arsenio, Ricardo Pinto, Luis Castro, the 4th member of the team, backing them up. In fact, now the Cycling District 5 squad got 3 riders over the line within what was 5 minutes of each other. Absolutely critical to have that good, strong strength in depth when you're racing. We'll see if they can do that again. Category 5 are up and away. Well, the Cycling District squad, they interestingly, Portuguese-speaking Brazil and Portugal riders on that squad.
Yes, and I have to say, the Portuguese riders riding really strongly, really big cycling esports scene down there, and Cycle District really part and parcel of that. Now, Category 5 have lost 2 riders. They haven't really lost them. They've progressed. Panu Alalusa and Diego Roncancio, the 2 riders who took 1st and 2nd last week, have moved up to Category 4. Congratulations, gentlemen. I think it'll be really great racing for you there. Oh, just don't look at your notes then, because it doesn't work. That's all I can say.
I can't believe the amount of paperwork you've got spread
Honestly,
across the desk. It's a good job we've got like
yeah,
multi-tiered desks
I
today.
apologise to everybody. I'm fairly tired this morning. I think there was a World Championships yesterday, and I think it was probably only just over 12 hours ago. Of course, the one and only Luke Allport is in Category 5, and the go from Allport. Allport Racing is his team name today. Allport definitely is racing. There he is on your screen in the Aussie jersey. He went to those semi-finals last year and picked up that jersey. Resplendent, sir, in your national cycling jersey off the front of Pack 5.
And some good riding by Josh Harris in the men's race at the World Championships. He was on the attack over the top of some of the climbs that we saw in the second stage and third stages. Great racing by him and by Tullyfield in the women's race as well.
Yes.
Great representation of the
From
nation.
Australia.
And I love when the riders are out there and representing their nation. Rune Nielsen here from Denmark with the Cycle Club Denmark jersey on. Great to see that here today. So good day to Rune. I'm sure you're going to be in the finish at the finale of this. Will be interesting to see how he gets on today. And Denmark represented as well at
by
the
Bjorn
World
Andreasen.
Yeah, former world
What
champion.
a ride! What a race!
He did some great some great racing. I don't want to say riding. He did some great racing. We'll see. Maybe Rune can emulate Andreasen when he did his world championship win.
Well, you never know. You know, that was he was indeed the world champion in 2023, but Bjorn Andreasen in 2025 finished 5th yesterday.
He finished 5th.
It was a great race,
and he really pulled that back towards the end of the race as well. When he took his win, he went for a solo breakaway.
I know, but I think, you know, since 2023 and that world championship win, he's really proved that he is an absolute world class rider. You know, he's been he was 5th yesterday. He's been in that top 5 for the last 3 years. Jonathan Cridland on your screen at the moment, up and out the saddle, tapping along right towards the front of the pack in the Category 5 race.
And this is a rider who took 2nd in the sprint competition. He was only 1 point off the win. Daniel Thiem taking the win in the sprint competition last week in Qualifier 2. Cridland taking 9 points, 1 point behind. If we're thinking of sprint finishes,
Jonathan Cridland is, and one thing I like about Jonathan Cridland is he gets his timing right, but Tygat does as well.
Anything else you like about Jonathan Cridland you'd like to share with the audience?
No.
Okay. Moving swiftly onwards, Daniel Dotto at the moment on our screens here as we move forward. I like Jonathan Cridland's casquette wearing.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, I like the fact he's always in a casquette.
Well, Daniel Dotto on our screen at the moment. He too part and parcel of that Category 5. Can I just tell you, we've had some super fast starts today. I mean, there's no like, oh, look at the course. You know, we're talking about expectations and the expectation of when you look at a race course. I'm sure when Daniel Dotto looked at the race course, they thought, nice steady start today, because that first sprint is until 9.4K. And he thought, I'll just sit in the pack and take a steady start. I might not even finish my warm-up. Boy, that would have been a mistake.
It would. I don't think he thought that. I think he thought that he'd gone, oh no, it's flat. We're just going to go like lunatics the whole day long. We will soon find out to which it will be in all of our race categories. But the next riders to take to race start is going to be Category 4. Some fantastic sprinters in Category 4 and some fantastic teams lining up as well. The Level versus Cycling District continued in Category 4 last week in terms of team competition. Cycling District taking 5th, BMC Racing taking 4th, Level Golden taking 3rd, Ride Club Finland, great ride by them with Pony Russimäki and Bush taking 2nd, but it was the Cycling District 4 team of Joao Horacio Filo, Marcos Pereira, along with Jean Yannicki and Louis Canossa, who took away top spot for Cycling District 4. They were 1 minute 47 seconds clear of Ride Club Finland. Can Cycling District do it again here in Category 4 on qualifier number 3 in Category 4? Teams are going to be racing for prizes in our finals. Each and every qualifier and the finals have the individual prizes available as well.
Well, Sousa took the win last week. He's on the start sheets today. So is Fio, Piera, Solly and Pony, who were the top 5. New riders in the mix, though. Going to be interesting to see how they go. For example, Norbert Urban and Walt van den Graak.
Wow. Yes, indeed. I'm sorry. I'd literally just gone straight into James Moutier's pain cave very, very, very quickly as we came up on screen. Good to see James back in action once again. And again, colour coordination may be the theme of the day. Colour coordination. Well, look, there's a part of the box on the left is in that bright sort of pinky red. You've got the bright pinky red of the shirt, and then you've got the kayak in the background, and the straps even holding it up a red as well.
Well, red is a go faster colour, and all of the
Strong
Category
colour.
4 riders are wearing it at the moment. They are going to go faster.
We will soon see. They go faster than the 42 kilometres an hour they are doing already, I guess. Category 4 underway. Remember, all of our riders are making their way out. 9.4k till we get to our first sprint checkpoint. And there is a dip and a rise before we get there. A slight depression in the terrain before we start ascending. In Category 4, we've got Arthur Cabani, one of our young riders in here. At some point, you will go from being young Arthur Cabani to being just Arthur Cabani. We've had that before on a number of things, and I'm trying to think of the young rider who started his cycling career in cycling esports, and he's now racing on the road that we used to call young. I can't remember what it's called, Emma. I'm having a bad brain day today. We had young so-and-so who used to ride on the chain gang. And he's no longer young so-and-so. Tom. It was indeed Tom What Blogs or whatever his name was. It was called Young Tom Blogs. He's no longer young. Young Arthur Cabani will no longer be young Arthur Cabani at some stage, hopefully, and you will just be Arthur Cabani. But we will always remember you riding here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. You never get to go beyond that point because it's a defining moment when you jump on board because we get to talk about you for us. So that's when we get to talk about our riders. And indeed, Mohammed Mukhtari is one of those. So
yes.
Good morning, Mohammed, or good afternoon, good evening, whereabouts in the world you are at the moment. Our rider from Turkey, definitely a rider who would have liked maybe a little bit more ascent in this race route.
Yeah, I agree. But one of the things I do like about Mohammed Mukhtari is it's not just Mukhtari racing, his riders race as well. He does some cycle coaching, and
Awesome.
one of his female racers races on the Sunday Race Club now.
That's fantastic to see.
It
Brilliant. Brilliant. Love it when
Look
people
at this. Eduardo Sugai, the ZTBR jersey resplendent there, just gone piling off the front of the Category 6 race. Ola Warren is giving chase, but they're at 9.1 kilometres. They're around 250 metres away from the first sprint checkpoint of the day, and it's Sugai versus Warren. And Sugai, I tell you something, he's got his timing to perfection because I don't think Warren can run onto the back of that wheel in time. He's going to run out of road. Eduardo Sugai on your screen at the moment. I think he's going to change into that green skin suit any second now. There you go. What a great job.
Sugai took third place in the sprint competition last week in Qualifier 2 with Warren taking the win. Kozel sandwiched in between. This time round, it's first points to Sugai. He takes away the 5 points. Warren taking away 4 in our Category 6 race. We've already gone through our first checkpoint at 9.4 kilometres. And it must mean it's almost time to head down to our next race start. This is our Category 3 riders, the Category 3 riders lined up in the start pens. Cycling District represented in that team competition as well, and with Nuno Torres, Luis Andrade, along with Maicon Perdancini and Franklin Almeida representing Cycling District. They took third place in our team competition last week. Sandstorm, who are proving to be one of our ever-present teams all the way through the months. Trent Stevenson, Lucas Johnson and Niall Batty taking away second place in the team competition for Sandstorm. The BMC Racing Up squad, they were up and on the top step of the team podium. Timothy Brook, Patrick Bloom, Travis Barrett and Juan Quiros, the riders who raced their way to top spot in the Category 3 team competition. 4 hours, 15 minutes, 6.778 seconds. The team time when their fastest 3 riders on the team were added together. It's all for bragging rights. In the qualifiers in the team competition, it's for prizes when we get to our finals. It's time to see who's going to be up there, which of our teams are going to show strongly as we move in through qualifier number 3. Which of our riders can excel, and do all riders need to be up there?
Well, 66 riders on the start sheets in Category 3. It's a huge pack coming out of the pen. Yazbek took the win last week from Torres, Stenman, Quiros and Lynn. Yazbek has moved up to Category 2. Ooh. Really interesting to see him race there. So Torres, Stedman, Quiros and Lynn still in Category 3. It's going to be interesting to see them. Nicholas Fournier took the sprint competition. He really is one to watch because he is one of the really class sprinters in the Category 3 field. Alongside, well, it's interesting to see new riders again coming into Category 3. Rasmus Hammer, welcome to the Sunday Race Club.
Welcome indeed. You're joining Patrick Bloom as we join Patrick in his pain cave. Patrick taking away a top 20 last week in Category 3, 19th position for Patrick in the racing on qualifier race number 2. He'll want to improve on that each and every week and make that progression that we see from our riders on the way up from Category 6 all the way up to Category 1. Once you get there, the only way is either stay there or go back down again.
The only way. Can't believe you just said that.
Well, the only way is that when you are at the top, when you are the very best, you either got to retire or you go down.
I can't see Jason Osborne going down to Category 5.
Ever, you mean? You don't know.
No, I reckon even in his 60s he'll still be Cat 3.
There you go, Jason. Another challenge for you. That's maybe a more achievable challenge than staying clear of the drone on stage 1 in the World Championships. As we drop in with Luis Andrade in the pain cave here. And you can see the weights in the background there, the mountain bike Portugal jersey on the rider on there. Yeah, I'm liking the mountain jersey.
I was only saying this morning how much I've missed mountain biking recently.
You were talking about going mountain biking in the Peak District and maybe revisiting some of those secret gems of trails that you know about.
I know, and I very much missed it. And I bet, I tell you, the mountain biking in Portugal is first class.
I don't know, maybe one day you'll find out.
You never know. Well, Category 3 at the moment, heading into the Ferrari showroom. That would be great, wouldn't it? Could you just imagine if this was absolutely real and the Ferrari showroom allowed the Category 3 race and 60-something riders to ride right through the middle?
If you've been watching the UAE Tour, I know that on the UAE Tour, it went through the Ferrari showrooms as part of the race. Just do let me know.
Well, Noel Batty on your screen at the moment. Such a strong climber, Batty. And we saw him during the MyWhoosh Championships earlier on this year really show us just what a superb climber he is. And this course, I can imagine Niall has looked at the profile of this course and gone, really? Okay, I'll race, I'll ride, I'll sit in the bunch. But where's the 20-kilometre climb?
Yes, it's not there, mate. Sorry, not this week. We'll soon be back on the WAC, you never know. Okay, let's dive in with Category 5 on the run in. Joel Warren at the moment. The Warren family taking a second place already. Joel Warren taking a top spot in the sprint here. So Joel doing what Ola couldn't, taking away that top spot. Alex Arsenio in second. You can't believe I just said that, can you? Christoph Lasto. He did. He gave him a whooping. Come on, Ola, you need to get your finger out, mate. Joel's just showing you how it's done here. The apprentice is becoming the master.
He is indeed, but Joel Warren picks up the 5 points in the sprint competition. Alex Arsenault takes 4. Stein Holm picks up 3. Christoph Lasno takes 2. And Daniel Thiem picks up the final point in that Category 5 race. Interestingly, Category 5 and Category 6 reaching that point in pretty much the same time.
Interesting. Well, I think one of the reasons for that is that when you are racing a predominantly flat course, it's mostly about aerodynamics rather than power to weight ratio. And it's the power to weight ratio that is generally better.
And it's also about watts.
It is about watts, but it makes the differential is greater when it's a power to watts course than it is a pure watts course.
Yes, I agree with that completely.
Ivo Schur on here, a man with both plenty of watts and a great power to watt ratio and amazing colour coordination. Oh, you see, Ivo Schur was ahead of the game. He was the trendsetter in having matching gear, bottles, blue, white, the jersey, the towel, the headband.
Flag coordination.
Ivo Schur was the trendsetter in this colour coordination trend this week.
Well, Ivo Schur, part and parcel of the Category 3 pack. They are motoring at the moment at the 3.5 kilometre marker. They are 46 kilometres now, that pack is rolling out. There's a bit of a stretch on the group as well because there are riders who are desperately hanging on to the draft at the back of the group. They don't want to miss the boat if a split is formed. And at the moment, the way that group is pushing on the front, we could well see some breaks in the group.
We certainly could. Certainly could. Once we've just got a little bit of a gap, I'm going to do a little bit of heads up for people. Once we've been in with Henrik Oyer, the Swedish rider, Swedish team, as we've already said, doing a fantastic job in the women's competition. Good to see the Swedish guys in the on the stands doing the support, and of course doing some support for the whole of the Swedish riders there as well. The management keeping an eye on those Swedish riders. Henrik Oya representing Sweden, but of course going to be racing here in that Category 3 racing. Now, if you've been watching the race and you want to have a go at racing, you maybe think, I don't want to do the longer distance, or maybe you just want another opportunity to race. And one of the best days of the week to race is a Tuesday. There is a reason for that, because Tuesday means that you've done your weekend, which is when most people will go put their longer rides, and you can put in a fast race session. We've got some great news, because the MyWhoosh Cycling Esports League, CEL, the team-based race series, begins on December the 2nd. Season 1 kicking off on December the 2nd. And that means that you can race 2 time slots available, not just the one that we see with Sunday Race Club. So 2 opportunities to race across 2 different time zones. There are going to be full categorization, 6 categories in there. You can get all of the details on the MyWhoosh info page of this. It's all about making sure that you race. You've got to have a smart trainer or smart bike. You've got to have a heart rate monitor which has got to be connected. The MyWhoosh drone police will be in there to ensure that you stay within your categorization. So if you say that you can do 2 watts per kilo and suddenly you manage 4 watts per kilo, oddly enough, the drone police will zap you and you will be out of the race. So lots of fair racing in there. The 2 time slots that are available, it's 11 Gold Standard Time in the morning and 10 o'clock at night. So that's the equivalent of 7 o'clock and 6 o'clock. GMT, 8 o'clock and 7. CET, if you're in New York, that's 2 in the morning and 1 lunchtime. So lots of different time slots available. Two time slots, depending on where you are in the world, where that falls into your day. All the results and league tables are going to be on the MyWhoosh info page, and you can get hold of them there. Get registered, get your teams together, go race, go ride. First race December the 2nd. Don't leave it last minute. Get your entries in there. Get on board.
And you
get
can
that
have,
sorted.
I understand, you can have as many people on your team as you like. It's the top 3 in the race that count.
So you could bombard it with 10 riders and 3 put count, or you could have 3 riders and just the 3 that count. It's up to you. Jump on board. Great to see a lot of people already entered in. We're really looking forward to that.
Take a look at this. This is Category 4, and they're coming into that sprint checkpoint. And Raphael Butcher has gone long, and long he's gone, and he's going to be rewarded for it as well. Fortune favours the brave here. Butcher doing just that is on our screen. He's giving it everything until he goes underneath the line. The green skin suit is coming. Ping! Come on, there it is. Juan Lepera on the on the pack behind with Kondrack Fender as well, and Fenderich as well, and that's interesting because Lepera picks up 4 points. Fenderich picks up 3.
And the times that the riders have been going through these checkpoints have been very, very similar, haven't they?
Oh, yes. In fact, Category 4 going through literally. So Category 5 went through in 13:18. Category 4 went through in 13:20. And Category 6 went through in 13:23. So very similar.
Very, very similar times. And for those of you wondering, no, Emma doesn't have a button that she presses. Ping, and the jersey goes on. It's done automatically by the computers. So let's go across to Category 2, a penultimate race category.
That would be so cool if I did.
No. That's nearly as bad as my suggestion that we had a jersey superimposed over whatever the riders were wearing on the cams when they took the polka dot skin suit or the green skin suit. Okay, let's go to our team competition in Category 2. Gloria Victis taking away 2nd place. Nathan Guerra, Arvin Godazzi, along with Mark Santo and Jakob Bjorklund. And the Gloria Victis squad coming in some 55 seconds behind. Inside of a minute of Team DeFarce. The Team DeFarce squad, Angus Bainston, Johannes Kidding, along with Josiah Betty and Arnie Yakos, up against the master teams in here. And this, it could well suit a team who that we don't always see at the front of the racing here. I am wondering whether we're going to see, this is a traditional sort of almost a hitman course, people like Forsyth, Coyston, maybe Zach Nair out there. We could well see SS of the UAE clan team, a rider who's right up in the mix. Category 2 are up underway. The penultimate race category, that one step from being our elite riders in Category 1. They take to the start. Those are our teams that took the honours last week. Any particular riders you've got your eye on for today's racing, other than Ollie Simmons?
Well, this is the biggest race field today, 76 riders on the start sheets. What can I say other than I think expect aggressive racing, because there are a lot of really fast finishers in this race field. And I cannot imagine, and there are a number of riders who will want it to go to the line with a big group. They'll want to try and break it down. But this type of course, until they get to that mid-third, this course really hard to break the group. Everyone's going to give it a try, and Pardon Cooper, the rider on the front at the moment, Kisnowski is there, SS Downey Fawcett, Antoine Grosset is there as well, Andrew Downey, Trojanowski is in the mix. These riders all towards the front, Benjamin Brignall in the mix as well. Do I have a favourite? No, I don't, because I have to say so many of them could win today. Pardon Cooper on your screen at the moment. He's already been on the front of the pack, now settling in and sitting in just off the front and wanting to take some of that draft from the group. It's going to be a fast race today, I think, in Category 2. Potentially quicker than Category 1.
He's a man not only fast on his feet, but he's got very organised pain cave. I was just looking in the background. Top shelf of the pain cave, I think, is hydration fuel. And drinks. You've got then things like you've got more bags on row 2. It gets smaller as you go down. It's really organised.
Nicely organised. Very different to mine.
You said that, not me.
Well,
I've seen your pain cave. It is horrendous. It is not great. It is the most disorganised shambot. It's not that bad.
Do you know, I have just given Matt the evil dagger stares across the studio. How dare he say that about where I race my bike? Well, Anders Bengston, Benjamin Brignall, SS Downey.
I'm going to take a picture.
No,
I'm going to find one. I'm going to find one on your social media feed somewhere and send it to everybody.
Well, Benjamin Brignall on our screen at the moment. A look of concentration on his face because he's trying to stay into this fast pack as they go into the Ferrari showroom. The pace really high, just shy of 50 kilometers an hour at the moment, and they are really motoring. I said Category 2 would motor. Boy, are they.
They certainly are. So Category 3, as we've seen, Sami Pieta on the move here. He's ahead of Hammer and Stem, and they've got a little bit of gap along with Buchowski from Marquez and the rest of the bunch here. You can see who wants the jersey, but the first points, the 5 points, and the prize are going through that segment first. Sami Pieti, the rider who goes through, Buchowski going through, I think, in second place.
Yeah, he did. He picked up 4 points. Adam Stenman picks up 3. Rasmus Hammer picks up 2. And Gilberto Marquez picks up 1. Jakub Wojciech, MyWhooshinfo.com in 6th.
Indeed, MyWhooshinfo.com, the place to go for so many stats and invaluable tool. First, I've got to say a big thank you to Jakub for all of his assistance. He is absolutely invaluable to us, and I know
49 riders in that Category 3 pack.
I just want to say, just talk about last week very briefly. Top 10 riders last week.
Yep.
Khan Kayan in there. 5th place for Khan.
Yep.
Great result by Khan Kayan. To be expected. We have high expectations for Khan Kayan. We've kind of top 10 every week is kind of on our radar. He was there in 5th. The top 10 absolutely fantastic. Nuki in 10th. Milostic in 9th. Gadazi in 8th. Shujinski in 7th. Keating in 6th, Kayan in 5th, Bengston in 4th, SS in 3rd, Mistex 100 in 2nd, Guerra in 1st.
Nathan Guerra's first win in Category 2. It was a great race.
It certainly was. Let's see what happens in Category 1 then, because they're about to take to race start. The Boss Moves Only squad coming in 3rd place. The Farm Watch squad coming in 2nd place in Category 1. Last week in qualifier race number 2. The top spot, though, in the team competition, well, it was Daniel Churek, Ollie Jones, Lionel Vajassin and Mikko Kaminski of the Alpha Jaw squad. The Alpha Jaw squad working to produce medals when it came to the World Championships. An absolutely phenomenal ride by Mikko Kaminski and by Lionel Vajassin. Jones not quite up to his usual speedy sprinter self. We'll see how many of the riders are down here on the start line. For those of you who weren't watching the women's race earlier, Kate McCarthy sent Emma a message live on air. Saying she was not going to be taken to the start along with Camilla Alberg. They were off.
Mika Soderstrom. Mika Soderstrom and Kate McCarthy were having a large breakfast and going sightseeing.
Excellent. Why would you not? So many things to see in the UAE, in the United Arab Emirates. If you've got the chance to go, do it.
Well, I am laughing because Michael Knudsen was not on the stage last night, and Michael Knudsen, the rider here on your screen, dialing it off the front of the pack, just going, wet your legs up, guys. I know you might have been racing about 12 hours ago, but boy, let's go. This is Sunday. This is the Sunday Race Club, but Knudsen, Noren, Milostic, Panitsa, Kaminsky, Pucker, Milur, all in there. Not all of them raced yesterday, but some of them did.
They certainly did. And let's put this into context. Nearly 400 riders on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club men's race. 22 of those, 21, sorry, potentially racing yesterday. Would we cancel the Sunday Race Club just because there was the World Championships? Sunday Race Club is each and every Sunday. We're dedicated. We're here in the studios.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen such a long line.
Oh, come on. We have.
One kilometre of racing done on the Category 1 men's race, and Michael Knudsen has stretched this like a snake. And Knudsen, Kaminsky, and look at that, Mikhail Kaminsky. I tell you, Kaminsky must be on a high. That was some phenomenal racing yesterday at the World Championships from Mikhail Kaminsky. And boy, was he a happy racer.
He was. Now, you let out earlier in commentary that you might have had some emotional moments during the racing. Was this one of them?
It was. I loved it. It was at the battle for second, third, fourth, fifth going on behind Jason Osborne once he established that lead at the end of stage 2 was just one of the best bits of racing. Mikhail Kaminsky on your screen at the moment. The celebrations, the joy for that silver medal was just absolutely brilliant and so well deserved. Yeah. Congratulations, Mr. Kaminsky. You have been getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and we have been watching that over the last few weeks. Boy, did you peak to perfection.
Yeah, and that has been very evident. Anybody who's been watching the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club over the last few weeks, you'll know that we have been saying he's been peaking. He's been coming into form at the right time. He really has been coming towards sort of where we expected. A fantastic ride by Mikhail Kaminsky.
Do you know what?
And backed up by his team.
I might have to see if I can buy one of those Alpha Jaw jerseys just in celebration. Because it was just something worth to be a fangirl over.
Do you know you can make your pain cave look really good and less shambolic if you had all your multiple jerseys that you seem to buy for celebrations that you tell us about in the background? You never ever know. We'll have to see. Maybe Emma will be doing that. I think Emma focuses more on riding the bike, to be fair, when focused on the screen, which is where you would be if you were in this pack. You could be in with our riders.
Well, can I tell you, the push on the front of the Category 1 pace has dropped Diego Alves, Remy Confession, Christoph Flubus. Magnus Kolser is having to do some serious work at the moment to get back into the group. And they're only at the 2.6 kilometre marker. I bet they're all going, what is going on? Martin Martins, I'll tell you something, great to have him back in the peloton after announcing his retirement. He spent about 12 months away, I think, and is now back in the mix. Fabulous to have him back.
Yeah, when I said I wasn't going to race anymore, I didn't race anymore.
Well, there we go.
Haven't raced since.
What, you or him?
Me, he has. He's got, he's on the comeback trail yet again. He's only done the one comeback that I know of, though. He's not on multiple comebacks like some riders.
Well, he's now back on the Sunday Race Club. This is, the second or third time he's been on the start sheets recently.
It is, but it's one comeback. That's
Can
what I'm
I just say, another rider to have nicely back on the Sunday Race Club is Mikel Plantero. Good to have him back too.
Definitely. It's good to see all of our riders on here, and great to see. We've got Pavel Skirski on here. He's got his jersey from the MyWhoosh Championship. So it's in there. He's got the towel from Abu Dhabi, from the UAE. From
that.
The jersey. The riders get a pack, and this is one of the things you don't see. Pavel Skirski, you could see he gave everything yesterday. I don't think he was on the form that he wanted to be on, and wasn't maybe right where he wanted to be in that. Overall, ended up, I think it was just outside the top 10. But he gave everything
second.
on 1
he
and 2.
Was in second place for such a long time. Stage 1 and stage 2, he was absolutely on fire. Stage 3 is where I don't want to use the phrase, but I'm going to. It fell to pieces a little bit. But let's just say, for a young rider, he's under 23 and first World Championships, he's going to be back. And what with him, with Pucker, with Why am I stuck at the moment? I really don't know. Let me just say, the World Championships was not just more than 12 hours ago. And the other young riders, the other under 23 young riders in the field, just so looking forward to the future.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think there's lots of bright talents moving up through the race field, and Pavlik is definitely going to be one of those. Casper Borman's
Yes.
probably another of those riders. He's already had a medal, but returning,
Niall
he was
Pedersen.
inside the top 10. Now Pedersen again, another sort of fourth place from him. And I think that's, for me, watching the World Championships, putting words to the action with yourself. Fantastic racing, fantastic riding. But we see these riders week in, week out on the Sunday race. But I'm so impressed by the number of riders. Unlike Ollie Simmons and Benjamin Brignall, who have their normal pay cave, a lot of the riders in Category 1 who have raced the World Championships, they're back in the hotel room where they've been training in preparation just before the World Championships, go to the arena for the Championships. They're back in the hotel room in the pay cave.
But I can also tell you that some people have already flown home.
Have they?
They have indeed. Len Chugles has posted that after a 7-hour flight, 15 minutes after walking through the door, his wife got onto the turbo and raced the Sunday Race Club.
That is
commitment for you.
Lennon, I hope you managed to sleep through the racing. That's all I can say after a flight back after taking away a bronze medal.
Well, bear in mind, there is a very young Chugles in the household as well.
I hope young Chugles, young little Chugles, very little Chugles, also did some sleeping at the right times for you.
Well, at the moment, at the 8.9 kilometre marker, there's no sleeping in the Category 2 race because SS is driving towards what is the first sprint checkpoint of the day for that particular category. At the 9.4 kilometre marker, the gap not big though, and James Krasnich in the mix with Andrew Downey, Cooper is there as well. The pack is coming, Bjarhead and Nair. Now keep your eyes peeled because Jonas Bjarhead's watts just hit 11 watts per kilo at the moment, and he's utilising the draft to come through. There's still around 250 metres to go, and SS is 1 second off the front. I think the pack are going to come over the top. Who's going to take the sprint away? Who's going to take the green skin suit? We're very shortly going to find out.
Well, Ollie Simmons in here out of the saddle. Now, Ollie Simmons, one of the real phenomenal riders of the Sunday Race Club. Who took it, though?
Alexei Kalman took it from Cooper, Trojanowski, Damsgaard and SS.
Well, Ollie Simmons, the rider that we just saw on our screens, not figuring at the front of this race. I think he's probably got his eyes on a race win overall. He's actually the rider who's won the most sprint jerseys.
65 riders in that leading group in Category 2 at the 9.4 kilometre marker.
So a huge pack in Category 2. The riders in there definitely going to be battling it out. Simmons, the rider with the most sprint wins overall in the history of the Sunday Race Club to date, but very quickly. It's almost like Bigley. Very quickly being challenged. Simmons ahead of Don. Simmons has got 36 wins. Don 32 wins in the sprint competition. Jessica Hamilton 31. Natalia Idzik at 27. Idzik and Hamilton adding to those totals quite quickly at the moment. So definitely riders that we definitely need to watch out for. Now, we're just on our screens. We have multiple race categories. Martin Martins, the rider we're featuring in Category 1. They are currently at 6.6 kilometres covered. You can see that this bunch just still making its way through. One or two riders being distanced from the back of the pack as they make that roller coaster run in towards that first checkpoint. Still got 3 kilometres, just under 3 kilometres to go to that point. A category bunch rolling along, and I'm sure we'll see a number of these riders taking part in that new cycling esports league on MyWhoosh on Tuesdays from the 2nd. Now, Ollie Jones, another of our finalists in the World Championships. Ollie Jones in the hotel room there. I'm starting to recognise the hotel. If I ever stop in that hotel,
he's got his World Championship towel out as well.
Yes.
10th place yesterday for Ollie Jones, and it is great to see him in the mix on the stage yesterday and on the back of the group right now.
And Jones taking away 10th place in this World Championships. And I'm sure Ollie Jones will be back again as well.
Oh, he is absolutely one of the stalwarts of cycling esports, and it is fabulous to watch him race. And Well, whether it's a fast sprint, whether it's a climb, he can do everything. He's such a strong all-rounder, but he really is known for that kick.
We'll see whether he can put it into action today. Of course, it should suit him as we see him move off the front here. So it looks like Hayden Puck, who's not content with the race in the World Championships yesterday, has decided it's time to go for another long one.
Yes, and why not?
Go on, Hayden.
Hayden Farm Watts Pucker absolutely giving it all, the rider from the USA. In fact, two riders from the USA in those finals, Neil Fryer and Hayden Pucker, and brilliant jobs done by both of them. But Pucker on your screen at the moment, really moving on and driving on at the moment at the front of the Category 1 race. At the 8.2 kilometre marker, this is either a very long run or a little another little wake up to the legs.
It could be a wake up to the legs. It could just be, do you know what? We've got a little downhill section here. I just want to give it a little bit of a push. This is just too easy. Some riders, it's a bit like an airplane. It's the minimum speed you want to go before you sort of everything falls off and you end up in the day. You don't want to ride below a certain pace because it's actually harder.
Pucker is also the master of the downhill attack.
Yes, I'm struggling to think of words to go with that, other than that is in part due to his physique.
Well, and why not? Because you've got to use everything you've got in your tool bag. Race your strengths, absolutely. Skierski, Pedersen, Machado, and Pedersen all on your screen at the moment. A small group of riders pushing clear at the moment. 5. I was going to say 4, but then I noticed one of the avatars was riding alongside another. Knudsen coming to the fore, 11 watts per kilo from Skierski at the moment. This is Knudsen versus Skierski, I think, for this checkpoint. They're around 250 metres away, 200 metres away now. They're going to swing around the corner and see the green banner. Can Skierski close down Knudsen? I mean, he's having an absolute go at this. I think Pavel Skierski is going to come over the top of Michael Knudsen. Oh, he does indeed. Timing, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, timing it to perfection. He was certainly on form, as we've said, on those first 2 stages of the World Championship. Another big kick that you can see him just breathing hard on your screens. Great to get the window in on our riders. And I'm loving the fact that he's riding in that jersey from the championships.
Well, and I think, do you know what? The young rider proved himself on that stage, that he is here and he's here to stay, and it's going to be great to watch. So Pavel Skierski taking through the Category 1 race, Kalman Category 2, Pietila Category 3, Butcher Category 4, Warren Category 5, and Sugai Category 6.
And don't forget, you can keep up with all of these results. They're all live at the moment on the MyWhoosh.com website. If you go to www.mywhoosh.com and then go to the menu, go to results, and then pick on the relevant race when it's live, you'll be able to see it. At the moment, this is qualifier race number 3 in November. It's the men's race. You'll be able to pick up all of the categories 1 to 6, all of the checkpoints, as well as all of those results as they come on to your screens. At the moment, we're in with category 2, Joel Lewis, at the moment, on the offensive at 6 watts per kilo. Just going into this downhill with Jacobs, SS Simmons, Becker, Bird, Mail, just breaking clear at the front of that group. But it's such a big pack. The size of category 2 now almost stifles breakaways because it's so
I don't
big.
know about that.
There's always somebody who seems to be willing to chase.
That's true.
You've got to be so doggedly determined. And you need to have, it's one person can't repeat it, just can't do it. You need 3 or 4 people trying to break away minimum, if not 4 or 5 different attempts with 4 or 5 different people.
Well, yeah, and the size of the pack, like you say, on a flat section, the pace is rolling so high, it's very hard to go clear. And the effort to go clear in terms of the amount of power you need to put down, really, really tricky. Particularly, if you're in it for the long game, if you're in it for the win, because sat in the group, someone's, nearly a watt per kilo less than you, and they're taking the draft. Maciej Mendakowicz on your screen at the moment, just watching the front of the group.
And good to see Maciej Mendakowicz, so getting some wave back from us in the studio as well. We often go to Maciej when he's on a breakaway. He's one of those riders who repeatedly will go for that breakaway. And it's been successful. We saw him, I'm thinking of the breakaway to take away a win in the MyWhoosh Stage Race Championships in the summer, doing a fantastic ride. The riders going clear, and he took away a win in that Stage Race Championship, doing a fantastic job. it came right at the right time, didn't it?
He did indeed. Marcin Wozniak on your screen at the moment. He's part and parcel of that Category 2 pack. I tell you, they're at the 15-kilometre marker. They're going uphill at 36 kilometres an hour.
It's 7%. This is a sprint ascent. It's a sprint bump. Good to see Martin. Giving you a wave, Martin, or Martin. I could never get the pronunciation right. And do you know what? Today, I'm so tired. Even on my, I think this is, don't listen to this. Emma always has go at me in the studios about my coffee consumption. I am on coffee number.
Never known anybody drink so much coffee.
I am on about coffee 12, I think, today so far. In with Esbrahim Ibrahim. Good to see Esbrahim at the moment. Mountain bike in the background on the cycling esports here. Got the cap on backwards as well. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. Brilliant to see Esbrahim Ibrahim in action as well. That view into the pancake. Thank you, everybody, all our riders who give us that view in. Quick reminder that if you are racing and you're thinking, how do I do this? How do I get that? Well, all you do, get the camera, follow the instructions in the email that goes out when you've entered the race and been accepted into the race. And then you basically make sure your name is the same, that it's in horizontal mode, landscape, you know, not the tall, thin one, the long, flat one. And then jump in that Subaru and get on the link, and the team will hopefully pick you out on the way through, and we get to have a little view into your world, see just how hard you're riding.
Well, Christian Montoya's world at the moment, he's working hard, I can tell you. That Category 2 race has not let off. The foot has been on the gas since the very, very start today. And Godzari, SS Lewis, Montoya is sat in that top 10, right in the right place, still in the draft. He's watching what he's doing. He's a knowledgeable rider on the Sunday Race Club. But it is Godzari who's gone down the road.
3 seconds clear at the moment. He's going to need a lot more if he's going to stay clear, though. But it's not impossible. It can be done.
Well, it can be done if the pack behind are sitting down, watching each other, going, after you. No, after you. After you. David Badil is in the group, and another young rider who is doing storming work on the Sunday Race Club this year and the MyWhoosh Championships.
And if I'm not much mistaken, am I right in thinking David Badil is a Czechia rider? I think he is. Not 100% certain. I'm going to do a double check on that. I'm pretty sure he is. This will tell you whether my flag recognition is good. He is. He's a Czechia rider. They have got the Cyclocross World Cups starting, I think it's next week in Tabor. I've had the pleasure of actually being in Tabor in Czechia with putting words to the action. And I have to say, fantastic place to go. It's a real home of cycle sport, from the mountain biking at Nova Mesto through to Tabor for the cyclocross. They produce some great racers, some great riders. We saw that in the World Championship finals as well.
Talking about mountain bikers, Johan Noren's on your screen at the moment.
Great mountain biker.
Yeah, great climber as well. And Noren on the front of the pack at the moment in the Category 1 race. And the pace has not let off. They're at the 13.6 kilometre marker, and they are still motoring. Skirski, Knudsen, Pucker, Milostic, Noren, Safrazadi, all in the mix at the moment. Noel Pedersen is there too, and Jakob Dane. It's a big group. Look at that. I'm counting 17 riders in that group at the moment. And I can tell you, Magnus Kolset didn't get back on.
Did he not make it back on?
No.
He's a really handy rider as well.
Yeah.
It shows you that sitting in the draft, sitting behind the riders, making the most, absolutely key. Right-hand side of your screen, you can just see the riders on the descent here. Mr. X100 down in that super tuck position, has to get out because there's not enough draft available to stay in the pack. You've got to really kick into it as we drop in. Great to go in with Syed Safrazadi. We haven't seen Syed Safrazadi in the pain cave for a few weeks now. Brilliant to be back in with Syed.
Yes.
So good morning, good afternoon. I think it's good afternoon for Syed where he is in the world at the moment. So great to be back in with Syed Safrazadi, a rider who we see in action regularly on the Sunday Race Club. Another member of the Headband Club. All the best people are, you know.
Well, another great rider, great on the mountain bike, great on the road, great on esports. A real all-rounder. And when the road goes up for a long period of time, that's when I expect to see Syed Safrazadi at the front of the pack.
Yes, that's certainly when it comes to his strengths.
Ooh, take a look at this. 32.6 kilometres into the race. It's a Category 6 leader.
It is Alexa Belikos who has got the gap now. 26 seconds is substantial. And behind, you've got Rademacher at the moment, about 5-6 seconds clear of a group of Kalangad, of Montoya, of Vasin, of Janowski. Fiedler's in that group. So the big bunch on the left-hand side of your screen, with Rademacher just up the road from them as they go over the entrance to this elevated section. But Belikos at the moment breaking clear. He will want some riders to go up to him. The question for me is, it's a brave move. It's a bold move. So chapeau for that, 100%. But I have to say, absolutely tough way to go win this race. But it will help break this group down. Just diving into the pain cave with the one and only, the legend that is Jeff Rooney, proudly wearing the New Zealand jersey on his shoulders here. That silver fern across his midriff, back and shoulders there. I have to say, if I was from another planet, came down and landed on Earth.
You'd like to be in New Zealand?
Well, I would like to be in New Zealand, but I would also like to, when you looked, if they were looking across all those national jerseys.
Which one would you like?
Then, as a Martian looking down, you've got to say it's a stylish jersey, black with a silver fur.
I don't know whether you need to be a Martian to say that the New Zealand national
Well, I'm just saying they're going to be impartial, basically. If you're an impartial observer, okay, a Martian coming down.
Well, we've had chase lines and drones, and and now we've got Martians looking at jerseys. If you are with us, it is indeed the Sunday Race Club. Matt Payne is indeed in the studio after 12 coffees, commentating on the World Championships yesterday. Marvin Godzari.
Oh, I had a lot more than that yesterday.
Marvin Godzari is still on the front of the pack of the Category 2 race, but he's been brought back into the fold. Arnie Jacobs now picking up the mantle at 19.8 kilometres. They've just gone over the top of the Liwa climb checkpoint. The polka dots are on Godzari's shoulders. That was his target. Job done. Back in the fold.
Yeah, just watching Arnie Jacobs on the front here. Masip Mindakowicz very quickly there. He knows the danger of letting Arnie Jacobs go. And a rider from the Netherlands on the move at the moment, looking pretty strong. We'll have to see if he can stay clear as he makes his way up. But here, the Netherlands, I was talking about cyclocross earlier. In fact, the World Championships of Cyclocross is in Hulst in the Netherlands. And the connection between Hulst and the Sunday Race Club is the Thistlehoven Molen Sprint is Windmill Sprint. There's a windmill in Hulst on the Cyclocross World Championships course.
Excellent.
There you go. Today's tenuousconnection.com.
Well, yourself, Betty. There's no tenuous connection between Betty and a really fast race in the Sunday Race Cup, because he is part and parcel of the mix in Category 2 always. Betty closing down the gap to Jacobs. Ross Fawcett on his wheel. Great to see Ross Fawcett closing down the gap as well. Jakob Bjorklund is there. Marcin Wozniak, SS and Pierre Fell. The pack all still rolling. They've dropped a number of riders. You can see that on the top right-hand corner of your screen on the satellite navigation image. Those are green groups behind the main group here. Well, I say they've lost some riders. It was 65 at last count. I don't think it's 65 anymore, but it's still over 50.
Okay, that's kind of hedging your bets if there ever was any.
Well, it is. I can tell you it's still over 50. But Yazbek, part and parcel of the group here in Category 2. Nice riding from him. He's just come up from Category 3. He took the win in Category 3 last week on the Vessel Rock. And sensible, smart riding has kept him in the group.
Certainly has. Just in with Johannes Randrup Keating. Keating having a great race last week, and part of the team competition as well. Just down, you can see just leaning down on the bars there, the sun streaming in through the window as well.
Swedish national champion.
Indeed.
Esports, men. Obviously, because Mika Soderstrom is the Swedish national champion. Esports, women.
Thank you.
That's okay. Category 5.
Pause.
No.
Quick pause.
Category 5, and they are at the 33.3 kilometre marker. They are absolutely motoring through the course. Now, they are indeed on the bumpy section. I'm going to call it that. There's a lot of bridges through town on this course in Arabia on the Seven Gems course, and that's the section they are on. They are heading towards the third sprint of the day at the 38 kilometre marker. Rudolf Bertrand, the Canadian rider, such a strong racer, Bertrand is. He's right at the front covering the moves.
He certainly is at the front covering the moves and looking as composed as ever. Rudolf Bertrand always in the same skin suit. Well, not the same skin suit, but certainly looks like the same skin suit or skating jersey and shorts on camera. And some riders really like that. I mean,
well, he's part of the Level Racing team.
Yes.
And he's in his team kit.
Yes, and some riders will do that because it's their team kit. Some people will have a favourite jersey. I have a set of jerseys that I know that if I ride in them, I'm always going to ride better because I feel good in them. Versus I have a set of kit that I tend to wear when maybe I'm not feeling so good.
Well, there we go. Each to their own. Psychology, never discount it.
Discounted psychology, isn't that what you get on Google?
Now you've really lost me.
Yeah.
Well, Adrian Alvarado has not lost me because he's at the 19.4 kilometre marker and he's attacked the Category 1 race. Alvarado on your screen at the moment, the rider from Chile, absolutely giving it his all here as he drives towards the polka dot banner on the Sunday Race Club. He's got Michael Knudsen chasing him, but then the pack behind, but they are at 10 seconds. Alvarado's done a sterling job here. He's going to take the polka dot skin suit and the climbing competition overall today. And he's got a great gap on the group behind.
He has Knudsen just coming up towards him, so he's only aware of the risk of letting Knudsen go. It really has triggered this with one climb checkpoint with the climbs competition decided by this. You can see not only the winners of the checkpoint, but the winners of the competition overall. And they'll be taking home those prizes. Joshua Callingard in Category 6, Clinton De Cirillo in Category 5, Ryan Giuliano in Category 4, Joan Yulin in Category 3, Arvin Modazi Godazzi in Category 2, and Adrian Alvarado, who we're just seeing coming over the line in Category 1. I have to say, that is a great move by Alvarado, and it's no surprises to see Michael Knudsen very quickly onto the moves here. He's always a rider who is very, very good at taking the opportunities when they're presented. He's had the most podiums of anybody, full stop, on the Sunday Race Club. No other rider is close. He's got 92 podiums in the history of Sunday Race Club. That's clear. The nearest rider, Michael Vink, at 85, and then the current world champion, Jason Osborne, with 77 in the men's race field. It shows you the class of rider that Knudsen is, and at the moment, he's up at the front. He spots that move.
Well, it's the two Polish riders, Paweł Skierski and Mikhail Kaminski, who are closing down the gap to Knudsen and Alvarado. They have indeed brought it all back together again. Jakub Dane, Said Safazadi, Dan Turek are all in that long, long line of Category 1 riders at the 20.7 kilometre marker. Anybody thought this might be an easy spin out after the World Championships? Maybe reassessing their choices.
Maybe.
Well, Category 6 were the first race field out of the start pen today. 5 minutes ahead of Category 5 and a long time ahead of Category 1. They're at the 37.9 kilometre marker. Well, Belikov's is because he is leading the race. Ola Warren in second place, leading the group behind. It's a group of 3 riders. Now, it's really interesting this, because to get away from the group on this type of terrain, absolutely brilliant move from Belikov. Ola Warren now coming through the sprint section here. He's 18 seconds back. Behind him, Janowski is there, Rademacher is there. Then it's a further, around 11 seconds back to the main group, and you can see them just about to go underneath the green banner.
So they're on the way through. I think for me, it's a great move. If you can go clear, he's going to be hoovering up points in the sprints competition, taking that sprint lead overall. He's got one more sprint to go at the 47.4 kilometre marker. Each checkpoint, if you take the win through the checkpoint, the first rider in your category through the checkpoint, you get a prize. You get that prize. You're going to get the overall. If you're first rider over the climb, today we've seen those riders taking away the climbs competitions. If you get that gap and go, it's really going to make a difference. And even if you think it's going to come to a sprint and you're not going to be in that necessarily in that sprint, you maybe haven't got that kick with, you didn't pull on your sprinting legs in the morning, then do you know what?
Shucks, I put my climbing legs on instead.
Yeah, what a day not to put your climbing. You don't definitely want to do that today. You didn't put your sprint legs on. You go, do you know what? I'm just going to go for everything on the way through. What a great way to pick up points. Starting home here in the sprints competition in what is category 5. Absolutely flying here. He's got the sprint jersey and he's gone for a long one on the run in here. He wants to maximize those points. Bouamer is chasing behind. You can see the figure in blue making his way across. Bouamer, strong rider, but he's not going to get this back surely. The downside here for home, we're hitting the climb
still
and this is going to
run,
compress it. It is still a long run. It's 400 meters, and so much of it is on this climb up and then over the top. Surely home has done enough here. He's going to go over the top here as you can see the Grand Moss coming in to view in the distance. What a great view,
what a
coming
shot.
over there. What a great
That's
amazing. Shot. Yeah. It is, and it's replicated from real life.
I know.
One of the real bucket list things to do if you're out in the UAE, if you're in the area, to go visit the.
Take some sunglasses. That's all I say.
That is definitely take many pairs of sunglasses. That's yeah, why not? You can never have too many. Now, great riding by home. He's tucked in that group. He's going to go through. He's going to take the maximum points. Laszlo, he's going to use his sprint kick to come through behind ahead of Kubik. Fernandez as Bouamer gets swallowed by the bunch on the way through, but they didn't bring back home. And that means that home takes the maximum points in that green jersey and extends his lead at the front of that competition. Category 5, left-hand side of your screen. Category 4 at the moment. Guess what? It's another big group.
Yes, it is another big group. I was just looking at the distance travelled by Category 4 and wondering whether we're going to see Category 4 sweep onto Category 5. But I think Category 5 have been moving so fast. They're still a significant way down the road. And that, we said right at the beginning of the race that that first checkpoint at the 9-kilometre mark, and most of the packs, Category 6, Category 5 and Category 4, were pretty much all travelling at the same pace to get to that point in the race. And it's looking like the differential between them is still staying. Zenken Wang on your screen at the moment, one of the newer riders to the Sunday Race Cup, and boy, has he made his debut felt. He really, really has. And it's been fabulous to see the rider from the Trek Beijing team. Always in that Trek kit and often in the bike shop as well. But really, really doing a great, great job. In the Category 4 race. He's right in the mix, and you can see who is in the mix. It's a massive group of riders at the 35.7 kilometre marker. The next thing on their radar is going to be that third sprint at the 38 kilometre point. Ariev on your screen at the moment, another rider who has been racing the Sunday Race Cup for a long time and really understands the racing.
He certainly does, and he has it absolutely does. Interestingly, that very much on brand with the UAE shorts there, as we saw him just get out of the saddle. Great to see the world champion, multiple-time world champion, who rides for the UAE team. That is, of course, Tadej Pogacar on the World Championships shows yesterday. And very interesting, he's saying he's not sure he would be competitive racing at the World Championships because it has become so specialist.
Oh, I know.
And riders really developing into that.
But can I say, how fabulous is it to have riders and racers from different cycling disciplines respecting other cycling disciplines and really seeing the development of how they are becoming individual and strong in their own right?
I know you and I both have the pleasure of commentating on riders across multiple disciplines. Like we see Saeed Safrazadi racing on the mountain bike, on stage races on the road, racing cycling esports. I think it's very negative for people when they go, oh, well, it's not as good as road races. I think actually it's all bike racing. It's all people riding bikes, doing the best they can at whatever cycling discipline they choose. And that is amazing to see. In a world full of couch potatoes, seeing people get off the couch, getting on the bike, exchange that sofa for a saddle and get out and ride whatever cycling discipline is fantastic. And watching phenomenal riders and athletes, They're phenomenal riders and athletes, whatever discipline they choose to compete
Well, and
in.
actually, do you know, cycling is so diverse. It really, really is.
Yeah.
I think we think track, we think road, we think mountain biking, but they are just the pinnacle of the disciplines. When you think there's BMX, there's flatland, there's uh, cycle ball, there's artistic cycling, there's cycling esports, there's cyclocross, there's
Trials.
snow bike, there's
Snow bike.
trials.
Yep.
There are so many different types of cycling out there with their own skill sets and their own world-class riders.
There are over 20 different world championships.
Yeah.
I know because I've commentated at all but 3.
Well, Mikhail Kaminsky, Adrian Alvarado, Johan Noren and Pavel Skizky on your screens at the moment. They're going underneath the banner as part and parcel of that Category 1 group. Well, I say Category 1 group because there's a couple of riders down the road. Sai Safrazadi and Michael Knudsen down the road at the moment. This pack is the chasing group.
I'm loving. Do you know what? If I was in a position to send an ice cream to Sai Safrazadi and Michael Knudsen, because that's my reward value is ice creams, I would be sending it to Sai Safrazadi and Michael Knudsen. Michael Knudsen taking the sprint checkpoint at the Sheikh Khalifa Mosque sprint. Michael Knudsen going through leading Category 1 through. Nicholas Becker going through Category 2. Nick Scolari in Category 3. Raphael Buchter in Category 4. Steinholm in Category 5. And Drew Abbott of the BMC Spinergy squad going through in Category 6. Well, as things hot up in the racing, and I think Emma finally started to warm up in the studio here. It was roasting. We literally had it was roasting hot in here. We had to actually cool the studios down because it's been on the go so much over the last few days. I have to say the racing is hotting up a little bit here as we go through. We've seen attacks, we've seen moves, we're starting to see breakaways. Category 2, no breakaway sticking. My prediction is no Category 2 race is going to have a breakaway stick from here into our finals at the end of the month. There you go. There's a prediction from me for a change.
Well, interesting, but the Category 2 pack are still wide across the road. They're still motoring strongly at the 30.6 kilometre marker, just under 20k of racing still to go. Nuki, Alanjung, Fell, Bennett, Khan Kayan is there, Montoya, Kalman, Miller. Expect those names to be right up there at the end. Joshua Haggerty, I've also just seen him in the group as well. Another strong rider with a great finish. And they've got, as I said, just shy of 20 kilometres of racing to go. The pack is rolling and rolling strongly. It's been rolling quickly, this Category 2 pack, the whole way so far.
It has indeed been rolling quickly. Just taking a little bit of a look at the first rider on the road, Alex Belikos, currently searching for that win at the front, 19 seconds clear of the chasing group behind. Breakaway in Category 1 with Sai Safrazadi and Michael Knudsen at the moment, 17 seconds clear of Daniel Churek. Churek riding incredibly strongly with Alvarado or with Noren. Janade is in that mix as well. Niall Pedersen in the mix. Milostic is in there. I could see Safrazadi and Knudsen holding out to the last few meters. You know, that classic Tour de France sprint catch being made that you see over the years.
Come on, Knudsen and Safrazadi have been on the same team. They've been part and parcel of that Boss Moves Only squad for a very, very long time with Vink and Osborne. They're teammates. They know what they're doing. They know each other's strengths, and they can stay away a long, long time.
And if you go back even further than that,
do you remember them on the MyWhoosh Championships in 2023?
Yes, and they were riding together on the UAE Clan. They're both ridden actually for the UAE Clan team when they were all in Category 1. I think it was Pablo Popovic, SS, Miss X100, Sai Safrazadi and Michael Knudsen all together at one point. I mean, dream team time, definitely. Now, speaking of dream teams, this is one rider you would pick, Ollie Simmons, on his way through. So you go by the stats, the rider who's taken the most sprint jerseys overall. He's the rider who's done that. Well, is it going to be Simmons' day today? We will have to find out. He's on the move. He is currently at the front of the bunch. He's not relinquishing that. Good to see Alexi Coleman back into the back onto some form again and just sprinting well. Zach Nair in this group could be one to watch as we go through, putting a tactical attack. If it comes down though, surely this is going to come down to a sprint.
Yes, but I wonder who in that group is thinking, how do we stop it being a sprint? Because Patrick Karlstrom, well, he can sprint, so can David Nitko. Tord Allen Young, well, he can always be there or thereabouts, and so can Mark Santo. You've got 4 riders on your screen who really could be doing the business right at the end of the race, at the pointy section. But right now, they're in the 32.5 kilometre marker. Lumps and bumps along the way. You can see one of those just coming up. Bridges in town.
And I think all 4 countries could be linked by a border, if you see what I mean. Germany is linked to Poland. Poland, I think, has a border with Sweden. Sweden has a border
oh, gosh, well, I'll leave that to your geography, because I can't tell you whether you're right or wrong.
I'm challenging my brain today. It's usually maths, but you've been having the maths moments earlier on today. So
Fatigue in the commentary box.
I am going to claim that one next time I make a mathematical error and do some maths. Our riders on the way up this climb. Good to see Ivan Nuki right in this group. Simon Walters, a rider who could figure really strong.
Yeah, that is very true.
That's definitely a rider to watch. We're just in with Mikkel Kozel, one of the strong Polish riders right in this mix. He's got Janowski just in front of him. Warren Rademacher just putting the pressure on at the moment. Rademacher being passed by Ola Warren using this little section here. And they've just come up. It's a little rise onto the elevated roadway. It's not a huge climb, but when you're right on the limit, every one of those bumps is going to count. And you can just see they've got Belikos, who's been clear, coming back in the fold as they come in to Yas Marina. They've pulled him back.
They have indeed. And, well, it is, as we said, the latter part of this course is pretty flat. And the final run into the finish line after the last sprint, 2.9 kilometres. They're not at the last sprint yet. It's at the 47.4 kilometre marker. And then it's that 2.9 kilometre run to the finish. So we've got a group of 4 riders now coming together. Well, with Belikov, which makes 5. And I tell you something, the group are not far behind, because Corva is leading the group and they're at 6 seconds. Expect, I think, that to come together.
And it's going to be easiest to come together, because once you go in up this elevated roadway, we're seeing category 5 coming in, it brings you into the Yas Marina circuit. The whole of this race finishes on that Yas Marina circuit. So basically, when the riders in category 6 had just gone past the finish line on the other side, partway around the circuit. So they now know they've got the sprint checkpoint on circuit, they've got the finish line on circuit. Steinholm on the move, left-hand side of your screens in category 5, again looking to go for a long one, looking to open up the gaps. Difficult to do because of the way this circuit runs, but it's all down on this Yas Marina. So you could go ride this. You can do this if you've been down and watching the World Championships in person. If you're planning on being there next year, and I'm going to say this probably not for the last time in the next few months, if you could get to a World Championships,
anyone
of any cycling discipline, go and watch it in person.
Oh, can I just say, little call out. If you are in the UK, Derby is hosting the Indoor Cycling Championships next year, artistic cycling and cycleball. If you want a treat, go. Book a ticket.
Indoor, but not cycling in esports indoor.
Yes.
Both can be done. Indoor cycling has to be done indoors. Cycling esports, you can do wherever. You can put your turbo trainer up, and you can see it in person. Now, in person at the moment, Ola Warren, category 6. We saw Belikos getting caught. Sprint leader wanting to make this a done deal. Ola Warren on the sprint. This is for the final checkpoint, the final sprint points. Ola Warren is going to extend his lead. He'll take the final checkpoint prize. He also has extended his lead at the top, which means that he will be our confirmed sprint winner. He's just gone through the checkpoint.
Wow.
He's absolutely motoring. And I tell you something, he's not backed off. Steinholm is on his way around. He's got a little way to go. And
category 5, not far behind.
They're not, but it's a right turn, straight and right turn through the sprint checkpoint. I'm not sure they're going to get him back. I think we could see category 6 come over the line first today.
Well, we could, well, indeed. But category 6, category 5, category 4, and category 3, all within the last 10 kilometres of racing now. And we are seeing very different types of racing here, because category 6, Ola Warren has not come back into the fold yet. And if he does, it will just be a lead group of 6 riders. Steinholm has gone clear of the category 5 race field. He's at the 26.9 kilometre mark. You can see them just coming round the corner behind him. Category 4, big group. Likewise, category 3.
So good to see Valentin Cheval in here, the rider from France, currently second wheel in here, Horn third wheel. We'll see whether they can go in front. Can they take away the victory? Is coming Justin Roy. Interesting to see Roy right up there. Bit further back down the road at 35.9 kilometres. Stuart Miller looking to try and break this group apart a little bit, utilising this climb, this rise and then this fall to put the pressure on the group. Rick Van Aert very quickly in response, as is Camille Davis, Gal Jalsbeck, Berlin, along with SS Nitko in that mix as well. No surprises seeing him trying to close that down. Rick Van Aert, we always seem to come to Rick Van Aert when he's trying to close down a rider who's gone off in front of him. The timing to go to Rick is the same every week. And do you know what? He's always got that smile on his face. It's a carbon copy
I'm
of
on
the
the
pancake.
move. I'm on the move. He says, yeah, I'm on camera and I'm motoring.
I'm motoring. And you know what? You always come to me when I'm chasing somebody. Can you not come to me when I'm just cruising along, just taking a drink, having a, sitting there just chilling? It's always when he's on an effort.
Yeah, but he's doing a sterling job. Look at that.
Yeah.
The gap to Stuart Miller now at 4 seconds. Damsgaard on his wheel, so is Danny's and Becker, Ospina and Kalman. What a group of riders, but it's Rick Van Aert, the rider from the Netherlands, who's doing the business at the moment. Damsgaard comes up and over the top, and so does Camille Danny's. At the 36.8 kilometre marker, the chase is on to bring Stuart Miller back.
It is, but they've shed Mundell, Bjarhead, and the rest of this bunch on the way across. If they could get to Miller, Damsgaard, Van Aert, Danes, what a group of four.
Yeah, it would be.
And they've got to remember, the checkpoint is coming up. This 1K to the checkpoint, less than 1,000 meters now to that checkpoint as they make their way in here. This is going to be really key. Okay, there's points up for grabs in terms of that sprint competition, but I think all four of these riders have got a bigger vision. They're looking for the long game. They're looking for the final gantry, that final archway over the road, which is that UCI banner. Remember, MyWhoosh, the cycling esports partner for the UCI, the Union Cyclist International, the governing body of cycle sports for 2024, 2025, and 2026, instigating the very first in-person World Championships, bringing everybody over. Remember, MyWhoosh, free, no subscription required. You can jump on board. Not only do they support all the riders right across the racing, they support the community with racing across all 6 categories. The show bringing you all 6 categories. They're flying out those riders in for the finals of the World Championships and the Sunday Race Club each and every week with an amazing prize fund. Here we go. This is the run in towards our line coming up very shortly indeed, because this is Kozel. He's right in the mix. They're now onto this left-hand sweeping bend. The gantry is coming.
It is indeed, and Belakov's leading them out at the moment. Rademacher's in the mix, so is Ola Warren. Janowski is there, and Kozel, the 5 riders, absolutely dialing it here. They're wide across the road at the moment, and now Rademacher goes at 10 watts per kilo. Is he going to come through and take the win, or is Janowski going to go over the top? It's Janowski versus Rademacher. Rademacher versus Janowski. Rademacher, I think, is going to take that. Michael Rademacher takes the Category 6 win, but boy, it was close. Rademacher from Janowski, from Warren, Belakov's Kozel, Korver, and now Category 5 on the run-in.
So Michael Rademacher taking away his first win on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, taking the win in Category 6 at the moment. It looks like Cheval clear at the front in Category 5. Can he hold on? The chase is coming behind.
Yeah, there's around 400 metres to go, and Cheval is on the front here. The French rider, newer to the Sunday Race Club, and really big push coming in. Luke Allport is in the group, and he's advancing. So is Cridland. Cridland could well get there, but with 400 metres to go, Valentin Cheval still on the front, but the pack are gunning for him.
Well, what a way to come into your first Sunday Race Club and be leading into the finale. He's going to get Malta. Valentin Cheval won't claim a win on his first time.
No, Patrick Mortek is the rider on the front at the moment. Alex Arseno is there, but Mortek is going to go underneath the UCI banner in 1 in Category 5. Patrick Mortek takes the win in Category 5. It was a huge push from behind, and Joel Warren takes second, I think. No, he doesn't. Alex Arseno takes second. Joel Warren takes third.
Thomas Siddle in 4th place, and Clinton Dave Sorello taking away 5th position. Patrick Mortek taking his 4th win on the Sunday Race Club and his 9th podium.
And Valentin Cheval, first Sunday Race Club, led them into that final sprint, takes 18th place, 2.9 seconds back.
Oh, great way to start your racing on the Sunday Race Club. You could be here as well. Don't forget, you can start your racing at any time. You don't need to start on Qualifier 1. You can start on Qualifier 4 or start in the finals. You do need to ride 2 qualifiers, though, to be part of a team when it comes to the end of month finals. So do make sure, if you want to be in that team, you get in nice and early. Don't forget, each and every Sunday, we are here with the Sunday Race Club, the team behind the scenes, making the game happen, making the broadcast happen, all here, even on the day after the World Championships.
I know, and everyone's going to have
team.
a well-earned rest later, I tell you. But Category 4 going through that final sprint checkpoint along the way. They've now got 2.9 kilometres on the run to the finish line in Category 4. Well, the riders racing thick and fast, strong and hard. Ryan Giuliano picking up the final 5 points. Cesar Iglesias, Zenkum Wang, Ati Poni, and Rui Ferreira are the riders picking up the front of the pack going through the line. But a huge pack of Category 4 riders. I can tell you, at that point in the race, they are slower than the Category 5 pack was.
And that's at the last sprint.
Steady, well, just
checkpoint.
By 10 seconds. Yeah. But a steadier state race from the Category 4 pack than from the Category 5. And as we say, week in, week out, 6 different races going on the Sunday Race Club, each category with their own tactics, their own strategies unfolding. And it does give very different racing.
So Category 6 and Category 5 are through our finish line on the Yas Marina circuit. Category 4 will be the next to finish. They're already past our final checkpoint, heading in towards our finish. Then it's going to be Category 3, 2, and 1, pretty much in order, I think, as they come in to the finish here today. It's not always the case, and if you've been watching the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club over the past few weeks, months, or years, thank you very much for watching. We really do appreciate it. Feel free to spread the word to other people, but you'll also know that it does change dependent on course and how the riders are racing. For example, Category 1 today, we've got a breakaway of 2 riders, Michael Knudsen and Say Safrazetti on the right-hand side of your screen. Dan Turek leading the chase, but 21 seconds back. Category 2, this is a big bunch. Different way of racing, different style of racing. It changes the speed, and at the moment, Joel Lewis leading that through. Category 4, though, as predicted, heading in towards our finish. There'll be the 3rd group of riders who make their way in through the finishing line. There were a 3rd group of riders out and away. Zanka Yang, Rafael Buchter, and Andrew Neville Ross, along with Mohamed Mukhtari on your screen. Andrew Neville Ross, now that's a man to watch out for when it comes to this finish.
It is indeed. And I'm loving the fact that Mukhtari's trying to cool himself down on the run into the finish. They're at the 49-kilometre marker. They've got 1.3k to go, and it's a huge bunch spread wide across the road. You can see 4 of those riders on your screen at the moment, all of them lining themselves up for what they know is going to be a super fast finish. Neville Ross has got to be thinking about his timing here. Butcher could well be going, and it's going to be interesting to see what Wang and Mukhtari can do. Normally we say Mohamed Mukhtari is the one we would look to on the climbs. What can he do in the sprint?
And Neville Ross actually taking wins on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club on the 7 Gems before, taking that in August of this year. So definitely a course that suits Neville Ross. He's got form.
Yes, he has indeed.
Top form.
He has, and he's not that far out now. So at the 49.6 kilometre marker, there's around 850 metres to go at the moment, and it's not Mukhtari who's on the front, and Friedeck is there, Polgarin, Solly, Rimborg is in the mix, Golden Boy himself is here too. This is going to be fast and furious, and they're coming up onto a Category 5 pack ahead of them. So there's going to be a little bit of a confusion potentially for some of the riders and races, but Zenkum Wang's wearing the sprint skin suit at the moment. The Trek rider on the right-hand side of your screen is up and out the saddle and pushing on. Brambati is there, Butcher is there, Fenderich is there, Polgarin, Bergin is in the mix, but right at the front of the pack it's Giacomi Notari. Neville Ross now coming up to the 4, but Notari kicks at 12 watts per kilo. What has Neville Ross got? You can see him on your screen at the moment. Can Neville Ross go over the top? It's going to be so close at the moment, and we've got Villada coming through as well. I think Matteo Villada took that but Neville Ross right in the mix with Natari as well. Oh, my computer needs a handle to turn it because that was so fast and furious. I'm waiting for the results. Have you got them?
No, I am literally. I think there's so many riders came through so quickly there that is it's just literally blown the timing system
I've got
apart. Have you got it? Come on.
I do. So Matteo Villada takes the win from Giacomo Natari. Neville Ross in third. Hernandez in four. Zonetti in five.
Well, Matteo Villada took his first win in August of this year on the Columbia Coffee Trail, stage 7 of the MyWhoosh Championships. In terms of wins on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, he took a win on Arabia, on the 7 Gems, in August. He is a rider who clearly likes this type of race.
Can I just tell you?
Great racing to take that win.
15 riders in that Category 4 race, sub 1 second.
How many?
15. That is how close that sprint was.
We'll forgive the computer for maybe just taking it a little bit longer to process that because they had to make sure it had that right. Fantastic job being done by MyWhoosh, separating all of these riders, all riders verified here, not just top 5, top 3, not randoms. It's everybody across all of the categories as we are starting to make our way in towards the finish. It's not going to be long now. Who's going to take away our win here today? We can see Timothy Brook at the moment has gone for a long one.
Yeah, Guarin's gone at 12 watts per kilo. Langevine's at 14. Walter Clay's on the bottom of your screen is trying to hang in here and absolutely come over the top, but with 100 metres to go, Timothy Brooks, Langevine. Brook is going to take it from Langevine and Trujillo. Patterson comes through as well. But I think no one can take that away from Nicholas Trujillo. He's got to have taken that.
I don't think he has. I think it is by my reckoning. I'm going for Timothy Brook as he came in over the line. Brook going in over the line first. Trujillo was coming fast, but not fast enough.
Goodness me. Timothy Brook does indeed take the win. Zach Patterson in 2.08 of a second back. Jesse Langevine in 3.18 of a second. Nicholas Trujillo 0.2 of a second. Gomez comes in 5th place. Then Lynn, Hertz, Bloom, Montoya, Clays, Angarita, Johnson. All 12 of those sub 1 second. Yet another phenomenal sprint.
Well, a great sprint. Timothy Brook taking his second race victory, very different to where he took his first race victory on the Outer Loop course in Australia in June of 2025. So see some different faces taking the win from some of our regulars on this different race route, and lots of different race routes, all part of racing and riding on MyWhoosh. Just remember, it's no fee, no fuss, just ride or just race. Depends on whichever flavour you prefer. You can do both because, of course, MyWhoosh with lots of racing opportunities as well as riding opportunities on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club on the Cycling Esports League. That's kicking off on the 2nd of December. Jump on board mywhooshinfo.com for all of the details. Team-based competition. Have as many riders as you want in the teams. Maybe we should get a commentary team together. I think we could have a strong one.
But you've all got to be in the same category.
Oh.
You can't be across different categories. That's the whole point of a categorized competition, that you race people of a like ability.
Yeah, and I get, to be fair, you'd be in a much higher category than me. Let's face it. Right, riders underway in Category 2 on the circuit as well. Whilst we can think of what we maybe could or should have done, these riders are now having to think of what they're going to do, because it's Alan Yumandako, it's Nico Simmons and Trojanoski on your screens. Lewis are just on the front here with Becker just being pulled back by Mendako. It's here. It's all back together again. SS right in the mix. Rick Van Erck holding position here. What can Nico do? Simmons at the moment just holding position, waiting to go. Martin Trojanowski, again, another rider taking the Headband Club to another level with that one. This is a serious group of riders on your screen, and I'll tell you something, this is going to be a seriously difficult sprint to judge. So many riders in the car rate, and you're all going to be kicking at the same time as we see Mr. X100 go for the long one. He's gone to try and stretch this out early because at 47 kilometers, I think he's going to want to make this one sprint through the sprint checkpoint and all the way to the finish.
Well, highly likely, but Nicholas Becker is the rider straight onto his wheel and up and over the top. Ken is coming, so is Gustav Berlin. Berlin is coming really, really fast from behind and will take the draft from the riders ahead of him. Becker in one at the moment. How quickly is the banner coming? That's the big question, because Becker and Berlin, Ken in the mix as well. They've gone through the Yas Marina Circuit sprint checkpoint. The points are going to be awarded. Becker does indeed pick up 5, Berlin 4, Ken 3, X100 2, and Mendakowicz 1. The push continues from X100. Matt, you were correct. 2.9k to the finish, and the fire is alight.
It is, and no surprise to see Maciej Mendakowicz also working to try and break this clear. X100 and Mendakowicz trying to go in and through. Becker, the sprint leader, coming in, maximizes his points as he comes in. He's going to want to now try and get back a little bit of energy, recover, let other people do the chasing here, and then go again to use that kick in the finish. We do have this rise on the way through, 5% kicker that could break this up just a little bit. You can see this when the Formula One cars come up and around the Yas Marina circuit. If you've watched the Formula One racing here, well, I've watched it on the screens, and it's absolutely stunning coming round this self-same circuit. You can go ride this during the week. It's open to ride your bike on. Get down and ride it. See what these riders are having to try and do to break away. Missed X100, Maciej Mendakowicz, a 3-second gap back, now 4 seconds back, and it's now brinkmanship. Tight left-hand turn coming up in front of the VIP and the grandstands in front. It's a very tight turn. You come into it on this slight downhill, and then you've got your chicane into the finish to contend with. More of an issue in the Formula One car than it is on the bike, but it does stop that sight line being super obvious where the finish is. It means there is a degree of thinking that's required to get the timing right.
Yes, it is, and Maciej Mendakowicz right on the front here at the 48.7 kilometre marker, but he might be on the front, but the pack is not far behind. At 7 seconds at the moment, and Damsgaard and Ibrahim coming towards the front of the group behind. So is Walter and Badil. Bengston and Wozniak in the mix as well. It's 5 seconds now, and it could well be coming down because the pack is now starting to move. They know they've not got long until they come through to the finish, and they really don't want it to go too far.
You can't give too much room. The two riders I talked earlier on about Maciej Mendakowicz going for a long one in that MyWhoosh stage race, the $1 million prize fund stage race that we saw this summer. We saw in 2023 David Badil, a rider who has raced strongly across many of the MyWhoosh's races, currently in the mix in this group. They've still got that gap back to the two riders in front. Surely they're going to pull them back. We will have to see. Mendakowicz and Mr. X100 in the race lead. You can see Maciej Mendakowicz second from the left in person. You can see how hard he's working. He's almost off the bottom of the screen. He's working that hard. He's absolutely burying himself to stay clear. They've got 8 seconds here. This could be the race-winning move from these two. Any more hesitation? 9 seconds now to the majority of the bunch behind. Mendakowicz and X100 are going for this. We've seen X100 take away victories before. We've seen SS do it. We've seen Mendakowicz do it. But who is it going to be today? Newkey is looking behind. He's looking to see what's happening. X100 goes to the fore. Mendakowicz starting to kick.
It is indeed an X100 versus Mendakowicz is the 1-2 here, and who's going to take it? I think X100 at the moment, but what has Mendakowicz got? Can he dig again? Side by side they go. X100 is going to take the win. Mendakowicz is going to come through second. The sprint is on behind because Ospina, Guerra, Haggerty and Fawcett are absolutely dialing it. Wow, what can I say? But Category 2 have come over the line. X100 from Mendakowicz. What a move from those two. Ospina wins the sprint behind. Maciej Mendakowicz is chuffed. Guerra and Haggerty round out the top 5.
Mr. X100 taking his 8th win on the Sunday Race Club in 189. Right on the Sunday Race Club. That means that he moves himself up on those overall standings you can find on the MyWhoosh info pages. Ahead of Maciej Mindakowicz, the Mistex 100, two real long distance breakaway specialists being given the ground, and there's going to be a number of people kicking themselves in that main bunch going, of all the riders to let go, we let Mr. X100 and Maciej Mindakowicz go. What were we thinking? Nobody wanted to close them down at the right time.
You know, credit to them for going. And look at this, Michael Knudsen and Syed Safrazadi, the two riders in Category 1 who have gone. They're 18 seconds clear of the chase. And Safrazadi on your screen at the moment.
He's having to work really hard here. Michael Knudsen putting in that big push, going through the sprint banner, has got 2 seconds of Syed Safrazadi. Syed Safrazadi needs to get the timing right here because it's a long way to go, Solo. They've got 20 seconds on Plantero, who's leading that chase group behind. The chase is on the left-hand side of your screen. The leaders are on the right-hand side of your screen. It's a green skin suit for Michael Knudsen, the rider just in front of the rider that's featured in the center of your screen on the right-hand side. So Knudsen from Safrazadi, then the gap back, Skierski leading the charge behind with Chirek, Kaminsky, Noren, Pedersen, Milostic in there as well. They all want to get back to that front group. Have they left it too late? Are they taking some warning from what happened in Category 2 with 2 riders staying clear to take away the win? At the moment, Knudsen is not leaving it to 2 riders. He's gone for this solo. He's going to come down around this turn here on the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi, in the United Arab Emirates, in the race lead. The question for me is, will Safrazadi stay clear? Can Knudsen stay clear? I think they can. I think we may have our 1-2 already done.
Well, the race is on, and it's Knudsen versus Safrazadi, 2 teammates, and both of them, we would always say strong climbers, but it's a flat run to the finish, and it's a flat, fast finish alongside it. But Knudsen and Safrazadi breaking away from the group, and you've got the group on the left-hand side of your screen, and the young rider, Linda Milostic, is the rider who's leading the charge at the moment. Mikhail Plantro's in the mix, Dan Churek, Mikhail Kaminsky, Johan Noren are all there. Now, Michael Knudsen last took the win on the 12th of April.
No, May.
January, February, March, April, May. 12th of May was the last time Michael Knudsen took a win on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Cup. Can Syed Safrazadi stop him from taking the win today? He's the rider closest to his back wheel, 7 seconds back from Knudsen at the 49.3 kilometre marker. There's 1k to go. Can Safrazadi stop Knudsen today, or will Knudsen be taking his next win on the Sunday Race Cup? Now, Qualifier 2 in May, Knudsen's last win was on the Jebel Hafit. You cannot get 2 race courses much different to this. So the 7 Gems in Arabia versus the Jebel Hafit, just showing Knudsen's, well, adaptability, really. Safrazadi on your screen is 8 seconds back. He's not going to catch Michael Knudsen now, but he can stay ahead of the chase group, and the chase group is going to be one big sprint for the finish line. Knudsen is going to be the first rider in the Category 1 race today to see the UCI banner, to see the finish line on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. Qualifier 3 in November. Well, from May to November, Knudsen is going to see the finish line. He's going to come across the line and take the win in the Category 1 race today in Arabia on the 7 Gems course. The win in Category 1 goes to Michael Knudsen.
93 podiums from Michael Knudsen. That's his 22nd win.
Syed Safrazadi comes over the line in second as the sprint unleashes behind, and Skierski is the rider driving towards the line for 3rd place. I think, well, it may well have been Mikhail Kaminsky, I think, for 4th. Adrian Alvarado in 5th. Jakob Dane took 6th. Mikhail Plantero, welcome back to the Sunday Race Club, in 7. Nar Pedersen in 8. Dan Churek in 9th. And Johan Noren in 10th.
So Michael Knudsen taking race victory in 1 hour, 7 minutes, 41.149 seconds. The rider who leads the Sunday Race Club Hall of Fame for the most podiums adds another one and extends his lead with 93 podiums, 22 wins, 42 second places, and 29 third places. A phenomenal ride by Knudsen and Said Safrazadi taking that second place here today. Fantastic to see he's up there. Just taking a little bit of a check back. Pavel Skirski taking that third place from Michael Kaminski. Riders who've been racing hard in that World Championships yesterday. Right up there, Adrian Alvarado ahead of Jakob Mikkel Pantero, Niall Pedersen, Daniel Chirek, and Johan Noren. The full results of all of the race categories are going to be on the MyWhoosh.com website. You can go there for the results. You can go onto the event page, read all the rules, whether that's about what name that you're using on the racing, or whether that is about what bike you can use, what turbo trainer, what the prizes are. It's all there. You can read it up and do your research. Jump on board, download the app on iOS, on Android, and on Windows. Don't forget, of course, whilst you're online, hit subscribe and be notified whenever we go live with the MyWhoosh racing. And lots of great racing on MyWhoosh. You could jump on board. You could be joining in that new cycling esports league that kicks off on the 2nd of December on Tuesdays. The Sunday Race Club coming to you each and every Sunday. The women's and men's races, all 6 race categories, fully verified across all of those categories. Myself, Matt Payne, and Emma Martin putting words to the action. You can get in touch with Emma at biking_Emma. You can get in touch with myself at Matt Fixer Payne. You can follow MyWhoosh on social media. Please do give it a follow. It's at MyWhoosh on Instagram and Facebook, and it is, of course, at my_whoosh on X. We are going to be back next Sunday with Qualifier race number 4, the bonus race qualifier, because it is a 5 Sunday month. It means 4 chances to qualify, plus, of course, that team competition that comes at the end of the month. We would love to see you on the start line. If you're not there, I hope you'll join us for the racing. Thank you very much for watching today. Thank you to all of the team behind the scenes making the racing happen, as well as bringing you the broadcast. Thank you to Emma for being in the commentary box with me yet again, without actually managing to thump me for all the things I say here along the lies. But from us in the commentary box, from all of the team, thank you for being here. I hope we'll see you next week. Until then, goodbye.